Right. Okay. Here we go. Hello everyone and welcome to our project Terra Gamedev stream. I'm Felix aka Luxon. I will do the game development, and with me in the voice chat today is Henne aka Geflügel.
Indeed.
It is us.
That I am. It is I and Felix and
Felix, you must die here and now.
Still,
and
yeah.
there was this one Fire Emblem NPC who wants Felix to die.
It's actually quite nice. We may not even need a sound, but I mean, there's less sounds we can play, but it's probably enough.
I wouldn't even say it's less sounds we can play, because I have access to all the sounds of all my Discords that I'm on.
Oh my gosh, yeah. I still need to invest in a proper Nitro subscription, so I can do that too.
You still don't?
No. I don't know. Didn't feel like putting in the money yet, but probably should soon.
Don't you also need that for more stickers and stuff? I don't know.
I think I have Nitro Classic, but it's not sufficient.
Yeah, I also used that for some time, but I think I switched to normal Nitro because you needed those for stickers back then, or for something. I don't know what I needed it for.
Yeah. So maybe for sounds I will finally do the upgrade. Anyway, so how's everybody doing? I hope you don't have as horrible weather as we have right now here in Germany. It's not even that hot, it's just horribly humid. It's like, I know, 70% humidity or whatever. Yeah, it's a lot. It's not nice right now. So I had the great idea to go running this morning because I thought it's okay. It's not that hot, and I was sweating like crazy because it was so humid.
Felix, we are all just human.
Yeah, we are all just humans. That's what we are. Anyway,
Felix?
Yes?
Hi, honey.
What is this?
It's some Corona sound.
I get the impression somehow the sounds are very quiet.
Oh, you want the VTuber sounds to be louder?
No,
okay.
Actually no, please keep it that way, it's perfect. Let me see, can I also play sounds? How does this work?
It's the button next to the activity.
Yeah, yes. I have it, yeah, that's the one, okay.
Not good
enough.
So. That's loud enough, just that your VTuber sounds, they're actually perfect that way. Please don't make them louder, thank you.
I mean, I am pretty certain that there are also very loud VTuber sounds. I just have to find them.
Yeah,
Ah! Sorry. Sorry. Oh god, damn it.
That's VTuber in a nutshell. Thank you.
That's sorry. That was, god damn it. I hate that you don't have a...
You cannot stop then. Also we have...
Oh no.
I prefer
Unity.
Yeah, me too. I'm sorry to all of our listeners for the sudden loud VTuber stream.
Yep, sorry about the sounds.
You need a... Discord definitely needs like a preview option for the sounds, if it doesn't have one already.
Yeah, maybe. Anyway, today I want to work on more cutscenes.
Cutscenes?
It will be a cutscene. Yeah, well, please, can somebody actually explain me? Do you say cutscenes or do you just say scenes? I was wondering because, like, often when I search about definitions, it's usually scenes, but for some reason we just keep saying cutscenes, and I'm not even sure when you're supposed to use what word. So maybe.
Yeah, Kovac says cutscenes, and Yuri also says cutscenes.
Okay.
And I also think cutscenes make sense. And Kovac makes a good point. We need to add hit the lever again.
Hit the lever. Oh my gosh. Oh no. You mean those weird and terrible sounds.
Oh yeah, we need the...
cut the scene,
Intero joints sound. Speaking of, we should also give...
Cutscenes are scenes that get cut from the final game. Pretty sure that's not the definition.
Yeah. That would be a bit of a waste of work, man.
Yeah.
First of all, thank you to Teflora for subscribing again. It's nice to have such loyal fans. And also, I think we also got more subscriptions before. Like Golden
Yeah.
0080.
I didn't pay attention again, didn't I? Yes. No.
Yeah. Subscribe with Prime, which you can do
Oh,
without paying
yeah.
money.
Thank you, Golden 0080 again. Again.
And,
Yes.
but yeah, before I forget, if you liked the music that was playing before the stream started, then A, you have very good taste. B, you have ears, that is good, you can listen to us. And 3, you should check out the Crosscode Ultimate Arrange by our composer Dennis.
Right. That's the
Also,
one thing we listened to at the beginning of the stream.
Yep, the artist formerly known as Terra.
Yes. Crosscode, the ultimate.
Yes, we should post the link.
Let me look up a link.
And we can say this without any.
You find it also on Spotify and all the sources, really.
All the sources: SoundCloud, MySpace,
all the platforms, yeah.
YouTube Music.
Okay, I just put it here from Materia Collective.
Mm-hmm.
So it's again on the Materia Collective, the same Materia Collective that seems to be plucking Crosscode soundtracks now on stream. I heard from some people.
Oh, nice.
So that kind of sucks.
It sucks? Wait a second.
Yeah, totally didn't listen.
Oh no.
I don't know. At least I heard from some people that this starts happening.
Oh yeah.
That is really a shame that this is happening. I hope it's
but
just a mix-up, but you know, I don't know
mashup.
exactly what's going on with them. Anyway, so today, cutscenes. I will now switch over to streaming mode. Also, yes, we wanted to talk about Gamescom because that's, you know, one of these very big gaming fairs that will be happening here in Germany next week. And we will be there, as we have mentioned in our recent blog post. And we will be presenting a current version, a pre-alpha version. It's not really a prototype anymore, it's more like in a very early state of the current development. So you can try the demo version, and I think we are mostly there just to gather feedback, really, to see how people like the game, really, because it's still a bit too early to really try to advertise a game, and I think advertising a game at Gamescom doesn't make sense anyway. But, you know, just being there, seeing people play the game, see how people react and all that, so that will be interesting. We did some testing before that, but yeah, it's always good to have more people test the game, right?
Indeed.
Yeah, we are making progress. We definitely make progress, not as fast as we hoped, which is, you know, the usual story with game developers. But I mean, at least recently I get the feeling things are finally coming together in a way that it feels like we make some more meaningful progress. But we really have to get faster, move sooner or later. Otherwise, this might end up being another Crosscode, really, in terms of development time.
You mean a huge success, beloved by many?
Yeah, I mean, that's the plus side, but you know, 10 years.
Yeah, I mean, it shouldn't go this far.
Yeah. Will the alpha work online like the Crosscode technical demo? The game is currently not available online and probably will not be available online this time. Mostly because we are more relying on Node WebKit as a wrapper for our game. And so currently it's not really running out of the box in a browser, even though most things are still based on web technologies. But it's just easier for us. If we make a public test version, it will probably be just a download of some program, right? And that's some Node WebKit with the game. We can still try to make it run the browser, but this might be a bit more tricky this time. Also, the downside is that unlike Crosscode, we are not using Canvas 2D, we're using WebGL, and browser support is a bit more mixed with that one. So it's more likely that your browser will not be able to support to play the game, though I think most people still use Chrome, so that should be fine. In any case, we are still not at the point where we want to make a public demo available. I don't know, in Crosscode we did this very early on, but for Project Terra we just want to take a somewhat different route. Because the truth is, back when we started with Crosscode, we got barely any attention. So we tried to release anything to kind of like get any attention whatsoever. I think the situation now is a bit different with us. So if you now release anything, I'm a bit more concerned that we might get too much feedback. And this can be a bit overloading as well. So that's why we're kind of like restricting testing to more few people currently. And of course Gamescom, but you know, it's impossible to get overrun in Gamescom. We only have one booth, so that's okay. At most maybe 30-40 players per day, I expect.
I mean, I think it's a bit more per day, but...
Well, if we have every time somebody being there, then yeah, maybe. You see.
It depends how long they take.
I don't expect people to queue in front of us, so it's probably not gonna happen.
Yeah, no.
Is there any point in supporting the game in the web browser really? There really isn't. I mean, in Crosscode it really was just kind of like a nice gimmick. So I think some people probably played the game in the web browser first time just to see how it looks, but I wouldn't be surprised that most people didn't and just got the demo on Steam, or maybe just bought it on Steam without playing the demo. So I think a regular demo is probably fine.
Indeed.
Kovac said, you have a better toolkit than having for Crosscode. I have feel Project Terra will be more quick. Whenever I see PT, I think Terra is gray, even though it doesn't match.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's what we hope. We hope that our tools will help us to be quicker with development. But I mean, so slowly I kind of like now that I started working on scenes, I already realize I think it's quicker compared to Crosscode. So I get the feeling it might pay off in the long run, but that doesn't necessarily mean things will go a lot quicker compared to Crosscode. There's also the thing that the game is just more demanding to develop because we are trying to do things more fancy, right? So, for instance, cutscenes will have more animations now, and I think I don't need to commit anything. And maps have a whole lot more details, so there's a whole lot more props that we can place in the map, so this takes longer. We have now those fancy field planes, which make for some nice looking grass, but you know, they're also a bit work to place in the map. So it's all these kind of things that kind of add to the development time again, and there's some kind of, I think in the end we might be able to do things faster compared to Crosscode, but I wouldn't expect this to make a huge difference. Personally, I'm a bit more pessimistic here, but we'll see. I think what we need is just a lot more pressure and in the term of finances running out, and then things will probably develop very quickly.
Basically, we just need to take it easy and chill, and then everything will be okay. Thanks to Radical Fish Games magic.
Yes, yeah. I mean, that's kind of like the secret ingredient of Crosscode, really. It just took as long as we needed. So then there's a couple messages by Tecto. I mean, it helped a lot with getting a feel for Crosscode, easy to grab and try, but now you already have a bit of a bigger fan base. I mean, as I said, I'm sure there were some people who really found Crosscode based on the web demo, but I'm not sure how much percentage of our players really did this. Unfortunately, we don't really have any statistics, but I kind of like, I would bet that most of our players probably didn't play the browser version. Because usually most of your players come through the stores, right? That come from Steam. When you're in Steam, you don't go to the web page to play the web demo, I think. You just don't the Steam demo.
It might have helped overall, and in the beginning, I mean.
Yeah.
A lot.
It got us some added attention because we were a bit using the HTML5 hype that was around at the time. Anyway, Dan 3112 says, I've special memories with Crosscode. I found it at a hard time in my life. It helped me escape a bit of my suffer. Now I'm cured and read about her Terra a year ago or maybe 2. Oh my gosh, it's that long already, I think, yeah. I can't wait for it and want to thank Radical Fishkins for helping me in this rough time. We are very happy the game could help you to that extent, so...
Yeah, it's always nice
we actually had a couple people writing us, oh, the game helped them through difficult times, so this is always kind of special to hear stuff like this, so... thank you very much, and we are happy we could help in that way. Kovac sale, well, do you not need redo character sprites when you find error in animation? You can fix character on the fly with your animation system. I mean, the thing is, because we can just fix animations easily, we keep fixing animations. In Crosscode we just made an animation and then like, okay, it's not perfect, but it's good enough because we don't have the time to redo it. But in Terra, we do, it's feasible to tweak things. So we spent, ironically, more time tweaking animations and doing things better. And this in turn can end up taking more time. So that's what you have to be careful about, right? So
I mean, that also happens with creating maps in a way.
Yeah, the same with maps. I think for maps, it's also part of finding the right approach because we're still in the beginning. We have to find like a kind of like a proper style for our maps where we think, okay, this is not good enough, and this is all still happening to some extent. So that's also a reason why things take longer. No need to rush. We know you will finish it. Thank you. Thank you for having so much confidence in us. My friend sent me the web demo, and that was my first experience. Lol. Dang. Okay. Oh man, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe we need to do the web demo after all. OMG, the game's looking so cute. Yeah. There's a cute side and a somewhat less cute side, but it's also still very cute, I think. I watched a YouTuber play the web demo and I tried it for myself and then bought it as soon as it came out on Steam. Damn. Yeah, I think especially those people who were early on followers of the game, they were probably caught through the web demo more or less. But I think especially people joining later, that probably, I think because, you know, it's just a website, right? You do not find things through a website, you find them through the stores. I mean, I know that because like the overwhelming majority of our players on PC comes through Steam. So, and I don't expect most of those to find the web demo first, I think. Medium memory side, Luxon, you look tired, low energy. Are you okay? It's probably just part of me being German and part of me just being me because I'm never very high energy. And it's probably also because of the weather. As I said, we have it's very relatively hot and very humid here in Germany right now, so it's not the best weather. So I might look a bit tired today. It's possible, but might also just me being German. So, yeah, it's hard when perfection becomes the enemy of good enough. Yeah, that's just creative mediums in general. You have to find a good balance of
not good enough, not
yeah,
good enough.
And not a good balance of that and getting things done. I hope you are through the rough time too. If you're not, I wish you the best. Oh yeah, okay.
Weather
It's not that bad, really. It's just the weather.
is is annoying,
It's mostly
but
the weather.
we will get
Okay.
through it.
So, I will now start going to the map where we will do most of our scripting today. It's this one. I think this boss is technically still a secret, so you didn't see this.
Good
But
boss.
you know, frick, it's hard. Yeah. Okay, here it is. That's the boss. You're welcome. Anyway, I will not show the boss in the stream today. You just go.
Didn't we show that one before?
I don't think we ever did, even though it was part of some of the test versions. I mean, all of the test versions.
It's one we showed him once, but maybe I'm mistaken.
I admire your development streams. Would you be my father? I don't think that works legally.
Father, do you have the loops? No, that was brother. Whatever.
Brother. Okay, Medium Mimish, I saw it on Steam. And then we got
Description by Mayo.
Acerus, do you wait for the final layout of a map to implement the scene scripts, or do you implement them on the go as you feel and then reiterate as needed? I mean, usually I wait, and like in Crosscode we had this approach of doing gameplay and content first. Like all the environments, most of the gameplay was already done, and then I added scenes on top of that. Sometimes I modify details slightly in the map too, so if for whatever reason the environment doesn't work well with the scene, though that happens too. But for the most part, you can make scenes work in all kind of environments. You just need to kind of like tweak things a bit and need to be a bit more flexible with your vision. But so usually we kind of like just make the scenes work in the environment we already have, I think. For certain scenes which are very story, like if you have certain environments which are very story heavy, this might be different than sometimes the maps are just made with the story already in mind, so this may happen too. But this usually happens in less open environments, like, I don't know, some end rooms in dungeons or some more closed-off areas. That's where usually like the big story events happen, so you have better control over the environment there. Okay, so anyway, yeah, this is the map we will work on. Let's see how the scene currently looks like. Okay, so right now Yuno just walks in there and everything fades to white. That is the placeholder, so the idea is to make some fancy cool animations here. Where Yuno tries to... Yes, I know, the music's perfect. Where Yuno tries to kind of convert that thing in a way, or like we're calling it weaving here. It's very abstract. It's nice that the scene doesn't really name anything in particular, so it's all very mysterious. It's not too spoilery, I think. I will try not to show what happens afterwards. Though I'm pretty sure I will mess up at some point, so be aware. There might be a bit more spoiler today, even though I don't think it's critical stuff. Okay. Multi-Fridgeman asked, yeah, with the text sound change. Actually, it might, yeah. For now, I just copied over the crosscode sound. But we wanted to make a new one, yes. So Flora's here too, so yeah, Flora. I'm waiting. New text sound. Okay, anyway, so I already started creating a couple animations for this. And probably will polish those a little bit, so those are seen from behind. Yuno's getting ready for Friday night dancing here. And then she does that and that. So, you know, like the process so far is that I'm just sketching animations in a way, and then our animator Javed, he just goes over them and makes them look good. So that worked pretty well so far, I would say. So yeah, I will just keep on doing it that way. So first I want to just integrate those animations, and then I will start scripting effects that I will combine with those animations. Maybe I can also explain a bit how this works, because there's a lot of neat technological stuff that we made here that we added here to make this work. And we got 10 gifted subscriptions by Mark Nefedov. Thank you very much. Okay.
Thanks for the Geschenk-Abo.
66 subscriptions gifted already. Damn.
Yeah,
Thank you so much.
I finally got a
very
subscription. Wait.
You got a subscription, Hannah. Congratulations. Yes.
Let me just congratulate everyone. Congrats to Rough Riffs, Light Lucky, Sharkzor, Screw 208, Bokshu, Crazy Spanish Boy, Sunslayer KD, Donkey Mod, G Flügel. Hey, thank you, and not thank you. Congrats rather. You stingy person who never pays for membership here. And Foxtrot, TF, or F, not TF, it's Foxtrot FV. And of course, thanks to Mark Nefedov for the very generous gifts to 10 of our members, new members, viewers. Where is Ja Crosscode 12? I'm used to seeing him. He was often here in the last
Yeah,
weeks.
maybe we just announced the stream a little bit on short notice today, so maybe he wasn't around.
But hey, we have
It's
100 viewers, Felix. That's pretty good numbers for us.
Yeah, it's normal, I think.
Yes, it's relatively, it's on the upper end, depends. But I mean, we had a very successful campaign, not campaign, but like action
Honestly,
on Twitter, or not, rather Twitter on Twitex, Twixer.
Text, what? You
You
mean
know
like
Twitter,
for
not
the
the
blog
text.
post or what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where we
I
posted
mean,
all of our.
honestly, we had essentially 0% growth because when we started the streams after the crowdfunding, already had around 100 viewers.
Yes,
Now
but
we
Felix.
still have 100 viewers, but it's okay. I mean,
But Felix.
Um,
No, but Felix, 100 was rather our upper end for like
that's true.
very. And now this is more our norm, I think.
Yeah, that's true. I think we got a bit better.
And also being stable at that number for Gamedev stream is pretty decent, Felix. Pretty decent. But also, Felix, something that's very important.
Hmm.
I actually got so many subscribers from this, man.
Yeah, you did. You had your first successful tweet, really. That happens every time. Whenever you manage to have a tweet that gets a couple thousand likes, then yeah, you get a lot of subscribers. It's always kind of like a lucky game. Like, I didn't expect like my story tweet wasn't all that successful, but you know, you can never 100% tell what will grab people's attention and what doesn't.
Felix, I did have a successful tweet in the past.
You did?
But yeah, but it had something to it had something to do with a VTuber meme or something, and
Okay, yeah.
and
That's different.
and it was just a reply, and I think it might not have been 1,000 likes, but rather 600, 700 likes or something. And this one had like 3,000 or something. I don't know,
Yeah.
but it was really funny because I had like 800 followers, and now I have 1,119.
Nice.
It was rather.
Let's just hope that Twitter/X will not collapse anytime soon, because now we have more followers,
Felix,
so that would be a shame. Yeah.
Do you not have hope into, or rather trust into the genius plan to remove the block feature?
Oh yeah, this is gonna be amazing.
Yeah, but to be a bit more realistic, it likely won't happen because the block feature is like a prerequisite for basically all the app shops. You need to have a block feature on your social media platform to be able to be allowed on Google Play Store and Apple Store.
Okay, so that might be an issue.
Yeah, it's likely just big billionaire baby guy saying something dumb that came to his head.
iRobin 591 also subscribed for the 58th month. Thank you.
That's a lot of months. Okay, let me check something.
Kovac asks, you can add sensor bar to game on all non-public scenes and just enable it in options. Nice Easter egg for game after release. I'm not exactly sure how this works. Maybe.
Felix,
yeah.
Felix, I just want to tell you, I only had 300 more likes than you, but it was mostly Stefan's tweets that really popped off.
Yeah, Stefan had like the biggest one this time. Yeah.
The menus and the stuff. I think people really liked seeing that.
I think it was mostly nature, honestly. It's like it's always. I started this tweet intentionally with a nice water scene because people like.
Yeah,
water.
True.
I think it's that usually pulls people. I mean, the menu was nice too, but.
Flora's tweet, okay, it had combat. Flora's tweet had combat.
Yeah.
And new sounds and stuff. That might have given a lot of stuff.
I'm kind of like disappointed that the Wellspring tweet didn't really take off that much.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe the timing of the clip wasn't as neat because you did see the tree a bit too late. The thumbnail wasn't all that interesting. So
and also it was the last tweet of the row. Maybe that's also
no, not really. Like she tweeted before Flora.
Okay.
I just retweeted it a bit late, so that's maybe why.
That's maybe the problem, Felix.
Yeah, maybe it's that because of that.
It screwed over the algorithm.
Yeah, but she didn't write it. I told them they should write it in Discord, so I noticed and then I will retweet it. But she.
Yeah. It's
so.
Always the fault of the other, Felix.
Yes,
always.
It's always. I mean, I was also distracted at the time. I have to.
Yeah, I can see that. Also, I hope people like the lines on the dungeon maps. I think the lines are great. But you showed that already in a thing before.
Yeah.
I like Thomas's tweet about the animation editor. Yeah, I agree. It's a really nice character that he showed, or rather several really nice characters. And the animation editor is also really nice. Like as you can see right now on this very stream. Is the music bot deactivated?
No, it's still running.
Okay, maybe it's just quiet.
Yeah, it's kind of quiet song.
Yep.
Maybe you just can increase the volume.
By the way, can you bring the rest of the Abyss episodes to Cologne? We can watch it together. That's a plan.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
But what do you mean bring? I mean, we obviously are watching it on the official.
I bring the officially bought DVD set, obviously.
Yes.
That's a good idea. Well, I get the feeling this Gamescom will be pretty busy this evening. We have like every evening something is happening. So no, that's a bit too loud. Okay. Oh man, obviously I mean the Blu-ray, yes.
Blu-ray, yeah. The DVD, the VHS.
Okay. Okay, now I'm scripting an action for Yuno, how she kind of moves closer, and then I will play those new animations. Okay. Maybe you can just roughly edit here, and then we can have a look how that all comes together. and then we can tweak it. So one of the big things we made sure this time for Project Terra is that we really simplified the whole modify the scene, save, and test the whole thing process. In Crosscode, for instance, in order to save the asset, you first had to close the scene in order to be able to save the map. I think that's how it was, at least. And then you closed the event, you tested, then you had to open the event again. And I think at least we bought in that the scroll position was saved, so we didn't have to scroll search again. But yeah, you had to open, close all the time. And this time you don't have to do this. This actually stays open. You can just press test play. And then we made sure that you always have a way to kind of set the game state to be right in front of the scene, and then you can specify a start position. Your character is like right at the exact position where it needs to be, and then you can just move and the scene starts. So that's just accelerating the whole test process. Like it's something we didn't do that much in Crosscode, and it's not, those are all not difficult features, but in the long run it will just save you hours of doing unnecessary things to be able to test things, really. So just playing through some redundant part to be able to test the scene. Okay, so let's see how this looks. Yuno does her dance move. Okay, timing is not so good. The camera movement is not good. Let's first tweak. Let's first tweak the camera movement.
Do you find it weird that here you speak English with each other? Not really. I mean, we are pretty used to speaking English.
Yeah, we're pretty used to do that. In fact, we now also have a couple non-German speaking people in our team, so we actually now have the policy in our Discord internally to only write English. Even though we often break, yeah, sometimes we break it, but we are 100% getting better.
Follow it.
Yeah, we are getting better at it, I think. And yeah, when we have voice chats and it's only German, we still speak German. It's at least for me.
I mean, we have the policy, if anyone is attending who is not German, we speak English.
Well, obviously.
But, otherwise, we been a while since I don't join the stream. How's the game going? It's going slow, but well, it's okay.
We are making progress. It's going places. The places are the right places.
Places are the right places. I mean, a place can also be like a garbage plant, but I mean...
Yeah. Dance. Okay. So, this wait time is way too long. This too. This one is okay. Top-notch animations. I'm not sure if that's sarcastic or if that's actually because it is top-notch, but yeah, I mean those are placeholders. That will be better, especially some of those end poses. Okay, okay, this is, at least in terms of timing, is somewhat closer to it. So one big thing is that when Yuno does the spin motion here, I want her to be moving forward slightly. And here's something I can do now. Yeah, I like the animations are very smooth. That's just thanks to our system by just providing a few keyframes and everything's interpolated. So that's why it's very easy for us to do smooth animations. But in turn, like to make them really good, you need to really tweak those frames. So at least all the poses look nice, and that still takes time. Like for instance here, I didn't think, this leg, it's a bit, maybe a bit more like this. The leg is a bit more like this. Well, this is at least what's easier here is that we only see it from the back. So this actually makes a lot of stuff easier. Oh yeah, especially this pose can actually be a bit more optimized. I keep breaking Yuno's legs. I'm sorry.
Oh no! Did she not pay her her money? Her like
She
protection
did.
money?
She didn't. Okay. Can see our animation system a bit in practice here. This is the inverse kinematics feature. Fun fact, for a long time I really didn't want to implement this because I thought it was unnecessary. But people managed to convince me eventually, and now I'm very happy we did this. It actually makes a lot of posing a lot more simpler.
Something very sad has happened, by the way.
Oh, what happened?
A meme dog died.
Your what? A meme dog?
A meme dog.
Oh.
One of the dogs that is used for memes. Oh yeah, but wait a second. It
I
happened
want
like...
cracking bones sounds all the time.
Yes.
Oh, that would be brutal. I would be very sorry about Sherman if he did this. Like
Yeah.
cracking sounds and screams whenever you move
Oh
around.
no,
the
whenever he
camera.
needs to.
That
Oh
would be the
god.
fucking worst. What if... Oh
I
my God.
posted it
Oh.
in Discord.
He died.
He died, apparently.
Well,
That's what dogs sometimes do, sadly.
he was always on the, well, more vulnerable signs or side of the memes. Let's say it like this. Whenever there was like this comparison.
Oh, right. It was like this. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, wasn't he also used for bonk, horny
Yeah, that
horny
too,
jail?
obviously. That's the other thing. Anyway, so what I wanted to do is, when Yuno starts rotating, I want her to move forward, and we could manually time this, but we do have a feature of adding hooks to our animation. So I can say that right at this point, spawn hook number 2. That is right when she starts turning. And that's also the time when I want her to be moving forward in parallel. So now I can go back to the action where I play the animation. And after playing the animation, I can say, wait until hook is ready, and specify this hook. And now the step will wait here until the animation reached that point where Yuno's supposed to move forward. And then I can just script this by saying move forward. Need to specify some time. I can look a bit at how long the animation goes. So it starts here, so that's 1.5, 2.5, 3.5, about that, about 3.5. Actually, I'm gonna make here less frames, please. So, yeah, about 3.5 seconds forward motion. Let's go with 3. That's always good to have some easing at the end. So, I probably need to specify the speed. So maybe a bit faster. We will see. Actually, might be too much. Yeah, let's just look. Let's just see how this looks in practice. Okay. Okay, boom. Yeah, that looks good. Not bad. Let's see it again. Honestly, I think I will just remove the dialogue. Let's see if the scene still works if I do this. Okay. Yeah, works. Okay. Right, put up. Yeah, that looks good. Maybe I think I will start the forward motion a little bit later. I think it's starting a bit too quickly.
We got a question. Did a Kickstarter happen? No, not yet, and we are not really planning one right now.
Yeah. So this time we will probably not do a Kickstarter. There was the idea of doing Kickstarter for some additional features, maybe. But right now I'm just too much focused on actually making progress with the game, so kind of neglecting this whole thing right now a little bit. Okay. And done. Okay, I think when she does like the forward punch, I think I will instead tweak this animation a little bit, like when she does this. Actually, never mind. I think I will just flip this. We have a flip option, by the way, and it broke everything. Maybe like this? Nope. Okay, it's not perfect, but maybe I can just flip the whole thing. Okay, that worked. Okay, I think that's better. Because the thing is, she's not supposed to make a step forward here. And so it doesn't make sense that she flips over the legs, really. But what I can do instead is just giving her making her lean backwards a little bit more. Breaking all her knees again. Maybe scroll this down a little bit. So the forward motion has a bit more impact. Okay, let's give this here the jumpy thing, because the jumping is actually kind of nice to make it a bit, you know, going back and forth a bit at the end. So it actually doesn't look that bad in animations like these. Okay, yeah, that works. So the idea is that at the beginning she only does something with one hand, and then she uses both of her hands to intensify something. I don't know. Maybe I'll just make this a bit longer. We got a subscription by Bottom Quarks, who subscribed for tier 1. Thank you.
Indeed.
There was a question here by Disneyland China.
Wait, what? Oh yeah, this. Okay, I see.
From Disneyland China. Hi, love the work you guys do. I've been trying to beat Crosscode level 1 but stuck fighting with Son of the Beach. I was wondering if you could provide some insight on the Solid Guard skill and how defense requirements are calculated for perfect guards. Oh, damn. Now I need to try to remember. But the way I remember this worked is that I think perfect guard always works independent of your guard stats.
Mm-hmm. It should.
But there are certain attacks where it just might never work. So you have to just watch out for those. The game unfortunately doesn't tell you which of those attacks can't be blocked, so...
I mean, the thing is, perfect guard only works on attacks that you can actually block. Like...
Yeah, pretty much. So there are certain attacks that you cannot guard, and for those, perfect guard will not work. So you will have to dodge. But you're stuck at Son of the Beach. That means essentially you have like most of the content done pretty much, right?
Yeah,
so, congrats.
Son of the Beach is basically the last.
Yeah. I mean,
the last
optional
boss
too. So. Slayers Lost 05 asks, should I go for making an RPG even though it will be hard as a novice, cause it's what interests me the most? Honestly, people always say start small, but I think more important is work on something that you want to create. If it's really something, if there's really like a strong preference. And I mean, we did start working on RPGs pretty much, and we started several RPGs. We never finished our first few projects. So if you start an RPG, one thing I can recommend is try to think how to make it smaller but still making it an RPG. And one example I always like to give is you could make an RPG which is like Final Fantasy, you know, like having it about the whole world and slaying gods and making it just huge in scope. And that's just really unrealistic. Or you could make a game like Alundra, which, okay, it's more like an action adventure, but I don't see why the same kind of story wouldn't work for a normal RPG. And this story is about like a village and a couple of places around that village. And it's really a good story. So if you never played Alundra, I mean, it's an old game, but I can recommend it. Especially, I always thought it's kind of like Zelda, but the story is actually good and interesting rather than generic. I mean, Zelda is amazing in many ways, but not because of the story. Let's be honest.
What?
it's like, yeah.
I have a different example. When you, for people who play, who want to start making games and want to create an RPG, have you heard of a game series called Baldur's Gate?
Hannah, stop. Jesus, no.
Yeah. No, but what Felix says is correct. I mean, you can make great games, great RPGs, and even great RPGs with like some interesting ideas and interesting gameplay ideas, systems and stuff like that. But still use a very small scope.
Yeah, there's like it's sometimes. Yeah, it's like the thing is with RPGs, you kind of like have this idea that it has to be big and long because you want to level up, but you think you can have a lot of those RPG things that you like in games that tend to be shorter. And even though Crosscode is a pretty long game overall, that's actually mostly because we just put a whole lot of side content in it. If you just look at what you do in the main story and you think about how the main story is structured in Crosscode, it's actually not even close to a Final Fantasy.
No.
It's about a bunch of people playing a game, and just think about the number of characters you have and what kind of conflict you have in the game. There's no war, there's not any kind of big spectacle. It's all just small stuff, really. Like the biggest thing is towards the end, without spoiling. So that's maybe like the one thing and that was actually a lot of work. But yeah, like you don't need huge words, you don't need a huge spectacle, you don't need really like a huge number of characters. There's a lot of ways on how to keep things more simple and still make an RPG. And so that's something I would recommend for somebody who really wants to make an RPG. So think less about a word, think more about a country, or even better, think about a town. How could you make a cool story inside a town? Okay, this might also be lazy, a bit boring because you just have one environment, so I can see how you want to at least have maybe a couple of towns and then some different environments around that.
Alex, remember, Disco Elysium.
Disco Elysium is
only play. I mean, it's of course a bit of a different example because it's not really a gameplay heavy RPG.
Yeah,
it's more like a story role playing game. But it still applies. I mean, you can make very good games that only happen within one part of a city, for example.
Yeah. So that's really the thing. So. Yeah, I mean, as Flora said, Yakuza games always play in one city. That's true. So there's a lot of ways. I mean, even if in one city, it can still be like a huge amount of scope. So you have to be careful what kind of city it is. If you want to make a huge city, that's again really tricky. Maybe make it more like a village. Maybe that works too. And if you do a city, there's a way to kind of like structure the game that you only show certain parts of that city. So that's again a way to keep the scope lower. Somebody mentioned here Undertale also works since it was essentially a test run for Deltarune, which is a much larger scope. Undertale is also a great example on how to make an RPG which is really more manageable in terms of scope. And I mean, Undertale also is kind of like lacking this epic scope that you have in bigger RPGs. It's a much more personal story, like with fewer characters, I think.
But the thing with Undertale is it has Megalovania.
Yeah, but still, it's just a duel between two guys.
Yeah, it's true.
So, or
It's
two people.
just
Thanks.
thinking. There's also the approach to make an RPG very linear in a way, but not in an annoying Final Fantasy 13 way. But
honestly, don't be afraid to make linear games. There was like this time around Final Fantasy 13 where people probably started saying, "Oh, linear bad, don't do linear games." Screw that. Linear games are perfectly fine. Just make them structurally interesting. Don't make it too obviously linear. There's a lot of ways to do that. Final Fantasy 16 is a pretty linear game, and they made it a lot better than Final Fantasy 13, a whole lot.
Yeah, the thing is, I wanted to give an example, which is sadly a bit obscure, but it's still a great game in my opinion. It's a very early indie RPG, sadly from a time when the creator apparently didn't really know how to market it well. It's called The Spirit Engine 2, and you can get it for free these days. You can, because the creator basically gave up on trying to make money from it. Again, sadly, because it's a great game. God damn it! And that game was also very linear, almost in a way, also by design, because it had like this side view perspective gimmick, and you basically only had very limited ways where you could go. And the story was also very linear, but it felt really good because the narrative was nice, the combat was fun, and the world still felt really interesting in a way.
Yeah, so like in a nutshell, you don't need an epic scope to make a cool and interesting story. So that's why looking at Final Fantasies might be dangerous. Just saying, try to look at other RPGs that had a more narrow scope and try to keep it simpler in a way, and you can still make a very impressive game. And I think like the original person who asked the question, like Slyaslos said, yeah, thanks, my thinking is even if I fail, I'll learn a lot. Yeah, my game is more simple story, not anything crazy. I mean, that's really the right way of thinking, in my opinion. It's very easy to fail when you do make something ambitious like an RPG as your first game. In fact, I think most of us in our team did exactly that. We all started creating RPGs and we failed finishing those RPGs, you know. And it's a very, very good lesson to learn. If you can afford to make that lesson, that's in my opinion perfectly fine, you know. You need to, it's really hard to learn certain things without actually trying to make games and failing to make games. So just do that, no? Like, don't be afraid to fail. As I said, we all had a couple of projects that, like the first 2 games I made before Crosscode were never finished for a good reason, because they were just way, way, way too long. So I made all those mistakes of having like a kitchen sink filled with features, having a game with 20 elements or something, another game with 30 villages planned or something. I don't know what I was
11.
thinking.
Or 12 elements. No, the problem wasn't the amount of elements. Well, it was, but it wasn't the
part of the element. Part was the number. The other one was that I wanted to combine each element.
Yeah,
with each
the combination
other
was.
What was I thinking?
Let me guess, Felix. You played Grandia 1 at that time.
Did it do that? I don't remember.
Yeah, Grandia had like this whole element combination system where you had like your elements. that made you learn spells, and when you had enough levels in both
Yeah.
elements, you got combination spells, and every spell had every element had a combination with another element.
Wow.
Well,
How did they? Okay, they didn't have as many elements, I think.
Yeah, they
right?
only had like 4 elements. That was
Yeah.
the
Okay.
thing.
Then this
That's why it
might be
worked.
feasible. Yeah.
But you had like 7 or 8 or 9 elements, I think.
Yeah. So that's
Yeah,
a
Tara's
problem. really.
Adventure was a bit ambitious.
Tara's
in a way.
Adventure was that was my big lesson in scope. Featherball was still a lesson because in Featherball, when I started that game, or Velzabor, it's I tried to keep like the number of attacks in a meaningful way, but I still overdid it in terms of world design. Like the world of the game was just way too big. The story was really long, and the amount of work I put in the scenes was almost ridiculous. So I spent so much time polishing every bit of content, and it took me years to just get to the point I got. And that was actually like the final version of the game was actually pretty long, but it wasn't anything close to being finished, and then I just gave up. It was also because it was RPG Maker, and I didn't want
Yeah,
to be
that's the
working
thing. I
on
mean,
RPG
back then you
Makers.
also developed an RPG Maker, and it wasn't professional. It was just a hobby thing. So there also wasn't the pressure to finish it.
Yeah. Okay, Disneyland China asks, I was trying to figure out how solid guard skill actually works. Like, what does plus 30% mean? Just having more defense while guarding? Do you know how that worked exactly, Hannah? I don't.
I think I remember that it at least was supposed to work in a way that it basically doubled. It basically changed the total robustness of your shield. That you basically needed with 100 solid guard, that your shield took twice as much punishment to break. And also,
so it's not about how much damage is reduced, but much more
both,
how
both
long.
actually.
Both, okay.
Both actually. I think it also increased or rather decreased the factor of how much damage it took. I'm not entirely sure what the math was, to be honest.
Oh my, maybe
But
I have to open the game and look at the code.
But it definitely, it was definitely about that.
Yeah. I was going to make a plan 6 games, but only really 3 joke, but no, that's Xenosaga, so great, my joke is ruined. What? Even worse than Final Fantasy is look at Xenogears. Oh my gosh, oh my gosh. Oh, Xenogears. Even though Xenogears, in my opinion, has this very special appeal that it has such a ridiculous amount of world building and a story of such a ridiculous scope, but it's kind of impressive in a way, and it's kind of hard to do anything similar with a smaller scope. Even though I'm pretty sure you can still make really cool stories,
but it's interesting because the game can also feel super epic,
yeah,
despite not even having a super high scope. Because if you think of again the Yakuza games, also games where you can sink so many hours into, despite the scope.
I mean, playtime.
Yeah,
playtime is not really bound to how big the world is. It just depends on how detailed the world is, really.
Yeah. Same for The Witcher, really. I mean, it's if you go into it in universe, then you're only running around in a certain small area of the world, but it still feels like a very big game.
Kovac had another CC-related question. If you have 0 points in skill tree for any guard skill, can Leah still perfect guard even if she's super weak?
Should be.
I think, yeah. I think perfect guard always works.
Yeah. And also, even if you don't have any perfect guard skills, I mean, you still have your defense value.
The thing is, I think Perfect Guard doesn't even damage your shield. So it shouldn't break if you Perfect Guard, no matter how weak your shield is. I think. I think there was other questions. Floor asks, quick question, how fast do the dialogue beeps play currently? Let me see. The beep sound delay currently is 2 frames. Yeah, 2 frames. So that is 0.33 seconds. 0.033 seconds. Sorry. Yeah. We can change that too, if necessary, but it's probably gonna be 2 or 3 frames, because much slower, I'm not sure if that will sound good. A bit of Baileys. Hello every cabbage, hope you all kept the cool head today. Enjoy the rest of the stream. I'm gonna go die in the corner of my air-conditioned... You have an air-conditioned room? Damn. I'm envious. And you still will die? That's probably not a good air conditioner then. But yeah, it's weather's horrible right now. By the way, every cabbage is kind of catchy. Maybe we can use that instead of every ball, every cabbage. What do you think, Hannah?
What?
What?
If I
Every cabbage, what do you think? Instead of every ball. Okay, I think maybe Hannah's not really available right now. Plus vote on every cabbage. Every cabbage. Cabbage will be the new thing.
Test?
Test, are you back?
Okay. No. I think we should use Terra very one.
What?
Because it's such Terra very run or something.
No, that's a tongue breaker.
That's very easy to say. Terra very very one. Terra very one. Okay. Anyway.
Anyway, so maybe okay, people seem to like every cabbage. Every stone. Oh no.
No.
Every stones. Oh my god.
Sunken stones.
Sunken stones. Hello, every Project Terra unreleased role-playing video game. Yes, that's definitely what we'll say now. Okay. I need to focus on just... I mean, we're interacting a lot with the chat today, but I'm not doing anything.
I mean, the thing is, we made the stream to prepare for Gamescom.
I mean, yeah. Anyway, anybody here going to Gamescom? Anybody here from Germany who goes to Gamescom?
You mean any ball?
Any cabbage?
Any cabbage?
Any cabbage here going to Gamescom? You know, like the biggest gaming fair in the whole world.
It's in Cologne.
Yeah.
Man kann fast überall leben, aber
I mean, I
Köln,
can't blame people for not going there. There's good reasons not to go to Gamescom. But yeah. Still, I hope to see some people who know CrossCode. That's always cool to talk to some people who know your game. Oh, bit of Baileys also won't be able to come.
Oh no. So we won't even have a bit of Baileys.
Yeah, not even a bit. Not even a bit of Baileys. Okay.
Bitte ein bit of Baileys.
Okay, so let's start with the effects. This will be the fun part.
I actually had a question, but I forgot about it again.
Oh, that's good.
But no, I got it. I got it back, I think. I realized something just now, just before the stream started.
Mm.
It was that it's called Gamescom, right?
The convention is called Gamescom, yes.
Maybe it's called like that because they want people to come to the games. Come.
It's com.
Come
Why
here.
is it com though? It's weird. I mean, originally it was Gamescon, Games Convention. You know.
They changed that.
That kind of makes sense. I mean, Games Convention, but I thought maybe Games Convention is too long, so maybe they didn't want to say Games Con because it's like con artists, you know.
Oh yeah.
So maybe that's something close, and they know, yeah, Gamescom. Okay, I guess. Maybe
Makes
Games
sense.
Commerce. I don't know. Games Community.
Yep. Maybe.
I hope it wasn't because Games.com. Haha. Okay.
Also, I also realized something different. Felix, we are good friends with Digitales, right?
Yeah.
The great developers of Lacuna.
Lacuna and
That's
soon
good to
Between
play.
Horizons.
Yes. When you mentioned them, because they are also going to Gamescom,
Mm.
I realized, and I'm not sure if it was intentional, but
Maybe I just wrote Digitalis.
yes, I'm like, oh, did they call themselves Digitales because they make Digitalis?
I think they actually had some trouble getting the company name signed off that way, because in Digitales it's just Digitalis, it's a word, and they had to add Digitales Interactive. It's actually Digi and then Tales, you know? They make digital tales, Digitales.
Yeah,
It's
sure.
like, it works in English, it's just not in German. So, yeah.
No,
It's
but
unfortunate.
I found it very funny that it was like, oh, Digitalis.
Maybe that was also part of the idea, but I'm not sure.
Mhm.
Okay, I'm now creating an effect.
By the way, a certain new game comes out and it's stealing everyone's time. Felix,
Mm-hmm.
have you heard about that? About a game that's stealing everyone's time recently?
Okay, please say your joke. It's not Baldur's Gate.
Yeah, it's not Baldur's Gate, Felix. Of course it's not Baldur's Gate. I mean, that's just a very obscure release. It's already an old hat.
Did I make another VTuber game? Please don't tell me that
It's not another VTuber game. It's a new update of HoloCure
Oh my...
that everyone is playing because it's a very good game.
Who cares? Who cares?
Many people care, Felix.
I don't
I
care.
can no, Felix. I can show you. Many people care. They released it like on the 17th, right?
Mhm.
And now look what the reception is.
I don't look. Where is it? though?
You will look because I posted it just now.
Okay. Okay, yeah, great for them.
To be
I don't
fair, it's
care.
also free, and
Okay, yeah.
but it's also very good. It's basically improved Vampire Survivors.
Okay, fucking Vampire Survivors. Okay,
So
good for them.
it's Vampire Survivors, which already has proved itself. Then they made it better by making the gameplay systems more clever and better thought out, and then it also has like a very strong IP connected to it. So
Yeah, it's mostly IP.
No, Felix is also a very good game.
Yeah,
It really is, Felix. Otherwise, I wouldn't have played it so much.
sure.
I don't play things just because of cute anime girls.
Yeah, sure. You certainly don't only watch VTubers because cute anime girls. So
No, I watch them because they are very likable people
yeah, totally.
who are funny and good
And
entertainers.
all other YouTubers are not likable.
No, they are not,
No,
Felix.
no, that's like they have to
true.
be cute anime girls. Only then they
No,
become
that's not
likable.
the point. That's not the point. It's just that a certain type of person like gravitates to this profession. And this type of person is the one that is
The
likable.
type of person that is a cute anime girl.
Yes, because they were always cute anime girls. Like, okay.
So
Anyway, have you heard of the new HoloLive generation? HoloLive Advent of HoloLive English.
I'm
They are very good.
missing other people in the stream. I'm now alone with Senna. It's only gonna be VTubers all the time now.
I mean, Stefan wanted
Please
to.
help. Yeah, he wanted to show up, but he's. I'm not sure. Please, Stefan, help me, please. I'm alone with Senna. This is scary. Okay.
Am I like a horror monster now?
Yeah. Okay, so
But I can also talk about a different game that came out. Or rather, that left early access. But the thing is, if I talked about it, I would talk about it in a negative way, because a lot of things about it really frustrated me, and it's another indie game, and I'm not sure if I should talk about it that way.
oh,
And no, it's not that one, it's a different one.
okay.
And then I can hop on in a few minutes if you like, and then ask uncomfortable game dev questions, a bit of Bailey says.
Yes, please. I want uncomfortable game dev questions.
Instead of uncomfortable VTuber talk.
Yeah, I'd still prefer that.
No, I will actually talk about this game now. It's a game that I shilled before on stream and in Discord and in other places. It's called Black Skylands. It's basically a top-down. It's basically comparable to like GTA, the very first GTA's perspective, and it's like a sky airship thing, adventure game where you collect resources, have like airship battles, stuff like that. And it's still a good game in many ways. The airship combat is nice. It's still a bit buggy in many ways, but that's all nice. But they quote unquote streamlined it so much in many areas, and I hate it. It's so annoying. To quote myself, they basically removed item upgrades and crafting, and just replaced it with like currency upgrades. They removed proper the whole ship equipment stuff and replaced it with straight up upgrades again. Same with the normal equipment. They removed base building, and they removed the skill upgrades. So it's the skill upgrade system that was dependent on like on population, basically, from items from islands that you free. They completely removed that. Now freeing the islands, which is like 80% of what you do in those games, is basically pointless.
Oh,
and I'm so annoyed. They just changed all of that and quote unquote streamlined it from basically from the last early access update to the full release. They just changed it, all of that.
Wow. That's always
It's
a
like-
good move, just to change
Yeah,
stuff
just
in the
change
last
everything.
minute.
Just remove features, streamline everything, make everything, dump everything down. Surprisingly, in your 1.0 release, no matter of how well received the game was in early access already. I'm like, god damn it. I was so fucking annoyed. And they also changed the story to be weird. So you had like this villain who was like kind of a gray of gray morality. Like he was obviously a dude who did bad stuff, but he had very understandable reasons. And now in the full version, he's just a bandit who likes to kill people. Apparently.
Okay. Great.
Yeah, I have no idea what the fuck was going on there. It's like basically no one likes that. No one likes this change.
No one liked that.
Yeah, everyone dislikes it. And it's like, I mean, the ship combat is good. They really improved that, but I'm just totally demotivated to play that game. I mean, I played like the early access version like 2 times, till the end, like over the course of like the years that it was developing. But now in the full version, I'm like, yeah, totally demotivated because of the changes they did, and it kind of bumped me out a bit. But also a good thing because I don't really want to spend too much time playing that right now. But it's very annoying, Felix. Please let's not do this with Terra.
Yeah, I think our game is.
Just imagine. Suddenly, for the 1.0 release for Crosscode, you just remove the entire skill tree and just have straight upgrades.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that.
Oof. I did play Ghost Trick.
Yes,
I think I didn't talk about this last time, right? I started playing it.
Ghost Trick? That sounds like a bad game. I would never play that.
That's a very, very good game. Everybody who doesn't play that is really missing out. It's a really good game. Like in terms of pacing, it's just really, really well made, and the whole story and the conclusion is just as amazing as I remember. So it's definitely make sure to play. Remove the capybara. Reviews overwhelmingly negative. Yeah, that's gonna happen. Yeah, Ghost Trick, such an amazing game. Like it's in some ways I think it's a very densely compressed Phoenix Wright in terms of how you have unique characters, each with their weird tweaks, but it's not so much pixel art. The original was pixel art, but it's much more, they use 3D animations. The portraits are more simple, but the characters with the 3D animation actually have so much charm, like so much detail that went into animating all of these characters. It's quite incredible. And you still remember how they kind of like reused animations a lot to make it more feasible in terms of scope, but I think it was in very clever ways, and it's kind of like often used the repeating animations for comedic effect and all that. And yeah, Missile is best boy, and main character is very cool too. It's I don't know, it's just a really, really good game. Yeah, so make sure to play Ghost Trick. There's no excuse now. You can play it on any platform now. There's Steam, there's PlayStation, there's a Switch version. Just play it now. It's the best. It's the best game. It really is one of the best games, if you ask me. Anyway, so that's enough for Ghost Trick commercial. What else did I play? I think I finished 5.16. Did I mention that at stream? I may have.
I'm not sure.
Oh yeah, I'd also played 5.16, which was also a good game.
Did you also start Library of Runa?
No.
Damn it.
That is actually true. Missile's portrait has literally just one. Yeah, he only has one expression, and it always perfectly matches. It's always the best expression. Yeah, it's a perfect expression. It's like you'd only need one expression for Missile. It's the best character. It's actually quite impressive.
I mean, he's just always very excited.
Yes, he is. Always. Okay, so Altar.
But have you considered that Ghost Trick is a bad game because it was not very successful?
Yeah, that's a big mystery to me.
Mhm. It might have been like some marketing problem or like timing.
Maybe marketing, maybe something about the initial appeal took people off. Maybe it's something about ghosts. I mean, that's already like the second time there's a game about ghosts, which for some reason didn't get a whole lot of attention. There was like Ghost Trick, and the other one was this one game that tried crowdfunding, which I thought looked really, really impressive, and like everybody ignored it.
Which one was it?
I forgot the name. Jesus, but I'm in the Discord.
Arkman, thank you for 26 months subscription. Felix, I thought for a moment that you meant Ghost Recon.
No. Let me check. I'm definitely in their Discord. One of the 1,000 Discords where I'm in.
Yeah, I know.
I just need to find it.
Ghost
I hope I'm
game
still there.
Kickstarter. A ghost song, ghosts, outbound ghosts, Roland ghosts.
But I'm not even sure if Ghost is in the. Here it is. Haunty, it's called.
That's not. It doesn't have ghost in the title.
It's haunting, but there's a ghost. Yeah, okay, it's very ghost-esque.
By the way,
maybe let me show you this again so you see it. So this is the game. Like it has a very abstract art style, but I thought it looked really impressive.
Felix, someone came in.
Oh no. Ro is here. Hello, Ro.
Hello! Hi!
Oh no, he's communicating exclusively using sounds. Okay.
What?
But yeah.
No.
Oh no, now he's talking. Hello, Ro.
Hidden Bay Man.
Yeah, that's a game. So I thought that looked really awesome. Like, doesn't actually happen a lot that I think, hey, that's a really, really cool game, but for whatever reason, the Kickstarter failed for them. They're still working on it, so maybe they will have a comeback and with more success. But yeah,
that reminds me. Does Beard Blade still work? Still?
Oh
wait, they released actually.
Damn.
Currently
Okay, that's
Beard
definitely
Blade
new. That's definitely a new version. They made a whole lot of new stuff.
Did you know that Beard Blade actually had its release
No.
2 years ago?
Maybe it did.
I mean, we did support them at some point, right?
I'm not sure. Did we?
Or we talked about them at least.
You may have talked about them, but I don't
Yeah,
remember.
this one platformer with the guy who had a beard, which was a blade. Yeah, it had a release. I know that it had a failed Kickstarter or crowdfunding, but apparently it released like 2 years ago.
Hey, I mean, that's like the best pitch name for what you expect from the name alone is like.
Yeah, but I think it didn't help them that much because seeing that it didn't have a success as a Kickstarter. But I mean, it's always difficult. What's this?
Yeah. Oh no. Croissant. Croissant. Anyway, this game looked really cool. I never played it though. I only saw videos. I did share it a bit, I think.
Where did you share it, Felix? Where did you post it?
I think privately and also with Radic Fish Games. I may have retweeted it. I don't fully remember.
Did you show it to us? Oh, you showed it on stream. Sorry.
I showed it on stream. Actually, let me just. They do have a Steam page, so maybe I can share it here. Anyway, another game that is kind of ghostish, which was entirely ignored. Maybe that's my stupid theory. People don't like ghosts for whatever reason. I don't know.
People don't like ghosts, which is why games like
don't make games about ghosts.
Phantasmophobia or something.
What?
Phantasmophobia or whatever that game is totally a failure.
Yeah, probably.
And all those horror games. And also,
they're not. You don't play ghosts there. You play people running from ghosts, so that's different. Okay. But if you play ghosts, no, not gonna work out. So that's my new stupid theory now.
But then again, I would say Ghost Recon. It was very successful, and you play a ghost, quote unquote.
Stop breaking my stupid theory.
No,
Gotta
it's,
keep my stupid theory.
it was a joke, Felix, because Ghost Recon is like a tactical shooter, and you're just in an army special forces unit that are called the Ghosts. So
I see.
And very
About
smart and funny.
Luigi's Mansion.
Anyway,
Luigi's
Ghost Trick is the best game. The Haunty looks very good too. So
Yes.
please give Ghosts a chance. So
I have a question for Ro because he's German. Were you aware of the Happy German Kid meme?
No.
Yippee.
no.
Please, Ro.
No.
It's so funny because it's apparently such a popular meme for like quite a few years now, but I only heard about it over like certain like several corners basically, and only like 2 or 3 months ago. It's like this meme about this kid who is allowed to play Fortnite and have cola by his mom, and he's super happy about it, and then says yippee. And that's apparently a super popular meme.
Let's fucking go, kid.
Yeah,
Fortnite and Coke.
It's super popular also internationally. So many people have heard about that meme.
Hell
And
yeah.
Yeah, it's
It's about Coke.
Good for that kid.
Yeah,
good for that kid.
can be happy about
Felix.
that kid.
I
Felix, you
hope
should.
that kid has many moments of Fortnite and Coke in their life.
Yes, and it's very funny because it's a kid who's German, and he says those things, and that makes it very hilarious for people outside of Germany apparently. Kid Cola German. I'm gonna put it in the.
Okay. Quite
And
sparkling.
it has like the most high-pitched voice, and it's the fucking worst.
What are you actually making right now? I see a floating projectile thingy.
Yeah, just working on some effect that's used in a cutscene. I'm playing around with curl particles. My new favorite thing. They're a bit difficult to handle because they're intentionally moving in a more noisy way. So you need to tweak it so the noisiness actually looks cool. But yeah, that's a feature that Flora implemented. So that's something we didn't have in crosscode. I have gravity not only in Z but also in X and Y dimension. I'm not sure I will ever use that, but we have it.
Oh.
Look, now it's
Hey,
now it's a fire.
Everybody knows the secret of mana fireballs. They kind of gravitate towards a target after being shot in a direction. So
That's true.
Cool.
Actually, we can do that too. There's actually a vortex feature here. Actually, I should do that probably. A Z cylinder.
Oh, yeah.
Let's give it a bit of spinning. Yeah, look at this. Now
That-
there's
By the
always
way, where did
force.
you get the inspiration for almost 200 player nicknames in crosscode? I mean, most of those are either people we know, or stupid memes, or stupid jokes, or just names that we thought would be very fitting for like MMO players.
Yep.
And you shouldn't forget that we didn't place those names. They are just in the database and then put onto player NPCs automatically.
Aren't they random? Aren't they random too?
Yeah, they get placed
They are not
randomly.
they're always the same for all players, but they are randomly assigned depending on some kind of seed which is derived from the map name, I think, and the entity ID. So they just calculate a random number based on that, and it's always the same for all players, but it's effectively random.
I didn't know that. I thought it was like random in like that every player has every like player of the game has like different names there.
I thought that too. But hey, whatever.
Can you try reducing the noise spread a little bit? Curious what it looks like.
The noise spread a little bit. And that's the scale here, right? I think. Oh, this one. Oh. Okay. Oh, that doesn't look bad.
Oh,
looks a bit more... This one is more circular. This one is more going upwards. But I think a bit circular is probably good. Maybe somewhere in between. Okay, let's see. Maybe I'll make those here a bit less bright. Oh, this is actually... Yeah, that's probably not bad. So we can actually see the curl particles a bit better now. Okay, how does this look with moving? I'm testing with moving because the funny thing will be that Yuno will be moving around with that thing. So it will be spinned around a bit. Actually, I don't like that those... Yeah, this looks better. Maybe I just make it a bit brighter. Yeah, no, you don't see anything again. Smaller and brighter. Oh yeah, that's not bad, I think.
When I just mentioned the fireballs from Secret of Mana, I was always like very impressed that they actually made them like this, like in a game from back then. These homing fireballs, they were really impressive.
Yeah, I know what you mean. It's mostly in the way they moved, right? Like
Yes,
they
they moved randomly too, because every time this cutscene happened or whatever, they were like fired in a random direction, but always.
Maybe they just used math to make them steer towards the target.
Impossible.
The nice thing about math is it's actually very it doesn't require a lot of memory, so that's probably a big thing for a Super Nintendo game. So that's why I think that's why they may have done that. And maybe they just found a nice formula and thought, hey, we can just spawn them in any direction and they always hit.
By the way, I'm gonna be away for a few minutes.
Oh no, please. Okay. I think I know what I don't like about the curl particles. They should be visible immediately. Okay. Yeah, okay, that's a lot better. Oh yeah. Okay, we're getting somewhere. Okay, maybe I just reduce the spread again. Okay. Oh, I see now. Okay, that's interesting. You can see some more consistent movement then. Interesting. That is actually very cool for any kind of particle effect that's used in a dash motion. But the downside is if you're not moving around with the effect, it doesn't look good because then they all move in the same direction. So that's rather boring. So ideally you kind of only show this effect when you would move around that ball. Yeah, I saw your message, Laura. That's why I tried this. I see. So yeah, no wonder, like it looks a lot cooler when moving around, but the thing is it will only move around for a short time and for the most part it will be static, so I think having a higher spread probably will look better on average.
Change the spread when moving.
Yeah, I could do that, but I think it's not necessary because it will only move for a very short time and you will barely... Oh my gosh. That's like the new thing that Hannah always plays whenever he leaves the stream. I didn't even know they had these remixes. I just reduced the volume a bit. Anyway, let's try to move this effect actually. So first of all, okay. Okay. So now I added a hook here, which is used to show the effect at this position. It's actually a little bit, yeah, it's close enough. Okay, let's see. Now I just need to add a weight here. Show FX. Spawn FX. Scene, weaving, loop, duration, -1, target, player, or self, really. Hook 1. And yeah, let's see how that looks like. Then we can... Okay, here we go, look at this. Oh yeah. Okay, doesn't look too bad, but it turns out that the rotation is really fast, so I have to increase the speed by which the position is updated.
Ooh.
Like the trail needs to have more particles. Okay. Now imagine this getting like bigger when she actually after the rotation. So that's another effect. But yeah. Okay, let's just increase this here more. Also want to make this a bit brighter. Let's stick out a bit more. That's also a cool thing, our effects are always automatically updated, I don't need to restart the game. Oop. Ah yeah.
Yes, better.
Now I'm wondering if I could just use the ribbon. Because the ribbon is honestly the best thing you can do to have a very smooth trail. Because maybe I just need to change the shape because a round dot is not quite as interesting. Maybe I use a shine. Okay, let's increase the speed. Oh yeah. I use a shine and I make it randomly rotated. Ah, that's not bad. Maybe I also make it bigger and just scale it slower. Yeah.
Oh.
A bit more smooth. Yeah.
Oh.
Okay, it looks better, I think. Oh yeah, it looks maybe a bit too spiky. We probably would need another graphic for this. Yeah, I think it works for now. Okay. I can also try to tweak the animation. The cool thing is I can actually show this in slow motion. Okay, here we go. Rotate around. It's funny how in slow motion like the trail is less dense. That is weird actually, that shouldn't happen. Oh, that's a bug. Damn it.
Yes.
Oh well.
It will affect the people that play at 59.49 hertz.
Actually, yeah, that's actually a good question. Why does this happen?
Well, it looks like it's tied to...
Can you make tail
frame update.
particles go like slow and then change directions at random, like they escape the trail? I mean, yeah, we can do that. It's actually very easy to do that. All I need to do here is say random and give it yeah. That's it. Probably way too strong. Let's make it a bit less strong. So now it's kind of like it's now going outside in a random direction, but that actually doesn't look too bad to do that. Makes it a bit more noisy.
I think it gets rid of the impression where you get like this weird dotted trail.
Yeah. It helps a bit to
Randomizing
break
them
it out. Yeah.
Yeah, breaks that. Even though it's not breaking it,
Yeah.
it helps.
So
Yes, actually looks nice.
okay, so actually I want to tweak a little bit the animation here. Because one reason why it looks a bit strange is because the path is maybe a little bit unsmooth. Like the arm actually goes very close here and then forwards. And it has like this very strong corner movement. So I will just modify this keyframe a little bit. So
He's just figure skating.
yeah, she's just rotating. Okay, this is already a lot better. Look at this. Now we actually have a more smooth movement trajectory here. Okay, let's see how that looks. Yeah, animations are also automatically updated. Okay, let's see. Yeah, this is better, I think. Let me see again. Oh yeah, I like that. Okay. Judo can also spin slower, and as you have rig, you can make hand go more up or down during spin. Well, we can try slower spins. I did try this. I thought it might look a bit weird to do that, but I can try again. It's not that difficult to do that. So let's just...
The spin.
Just need to space out the keyframes a bit more.
You spin.
Moving the arm up and down is possible, though I'm not sure. How this will look like in practice.
Oh, I think I know what I mean. Basically, before you exaggerate a pose where a character holds something upward,
Yeah.
you move before the move goes up. You move the arm down, so the animation towards the endpoint is more exaggerated. This is probably what they mean.
So more like at the beginning you start lower.
Think of a Shoryuken in Street Fighter. So they go very low,
Yeah,
and
then
just
they
before going up.
I see. Yeah,
I'm not
maybe
sure if they
this.
meant that,
Yeah,
but,
I'll try that. Let's see how that looks. So
basically at the point where the arm would face towards the viewer, it would be at the lowest point.
Oh, that way. Okay.
And then she
Interesting.
strikes upward during the last quarter.
Hmm. I mean, it's
Just
not really an
also-
upward strike, even though actually it is. Yeah. Now that you
Just
say it.
again.
Yeah.
Just suggestions again.
Yeah, I know, but I will try that. Let's see. I will just move this down a little bit here.
And then the voice said,
Oh,
"No,
it's back.
Felix, you are the demons." And then Felix was a zombie.
Oh, great. Hi, Hannah.
I hope people
So-
still. I hope people still remember that classic.
Of course.
Good. By the way, did you like the music that I played?
No.
Okay.
But chat did.
Really?
Yeah, they liked see us suffering.
I'm not sure which even play. What is this?
Oh
Okay.
yeah, that looks better. I like that. Kind of more dynamic now.
Like Bumble. I mean, I also played a certain really cringe Sonic track,
Hmm.
but I'm not sure what that even was because you can't have a preview. Like a
I
Bumble.
see. It's also breaking up the trail a little bit and making it not just
Yeah,
like a straight ring.
that's right. That's why it looks better.
Mhm.
But I think back there it should still be high up, then down and up again. So
Yes.
I think this might
high
look
down,
better.
high.
let's see.
We're giving animation advice without
Mm.
actually having any reputation or credibility
It's
in
okay.
animation.
It's okay. This is again the stream. That's the danger of doing these kind of things in the stream. Okay, so now it looks good sometimes, but sometimes it doesn't, and that's because of the randomness of the particles. So I would just make it consistent now to actually check if it actually looks good, the trail, and then I can still make it random again. Yeah. I think it would look better if I could just add a certain frame or tweak a certain frame. This one. No. This one. I wish that one was... Actually, why do I not just rotate this to be... Okay, let's try this again. This is, by the way, a reason now why scene development, even though we have very good tools, we can do weird stuff like this and it's cool, and then you end up polishing stuff forever. And so even though the tools are better, it takes longer. So that's why. That's kind of the irony of the whole
Or
thing.
you start testing stuff and then notice bugs.
Yeah.
Mm.
I mean, obviously bugs are something you have to fix.
Better tools let you do more better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
I mean, isn't that just a metaphor for capitalism? Like technology makes
Yeah.
stuff more efficient, but that just
No, that's
means
like-
that people just need to make more stuff.
Yeah.
that sentence is just very funny. Better tools let you do more better.
Oh right.
I mean,
yeah,
I
Sure.
get it. It's like a perfectly fine sentence. It's just like I had to look at this sentence for several seconds.
Mm. That's true.
Like more better what? Oh no. More whatever.
It's a sentence.
Buffalo. What? Who pinned?
Oh no.
The okay good message.
Yeah, I was also confused. Apparently, it was the floor. No, it was Felix actually.
What did I?
Okay, then. Misclicking
pinned.
into the chat, accidentally pinning messages. It happens.
Yeah,
Oh my gosh,
You know
what
what? I'm
happens with
gonna-
the shoulder here?
I'm gonna pin this message now.
Oof, oof, oof. Oh my gosh. Stop doing weird stuff. Ah,
They have inset it. So, Mr. A Bit of Baileys, can I just call you Bit?
You can call me Susan if it makes you happy.
Okay, Susan. Wait, you're the former CEO of YouTube?
yes. Just say
was
yes.
He was called Susan, and people were always joking when something goes wrong. Damn it, Susan. When like a stream failed or something. But anyway, Susan.
Oh, news internet drama, Linus allegations. Yes, Linus tech tips.
Oh, yeah, I
Something
heard
went
about
wrong
that.
There. I just saw it.
I heard about that. Bad things. People, I mean, I haven't really looked into it much, but I heard people compare it to the Channel Awesome drama, which is like, huh? Okay, that would be bad
Hmm.
if
Nice.
there's still people who remember Channel Awesome.
Nice. I don't know. But for some reason, thank you, Flora, you made Hannah skip whatever question he had for me.
No, I didn't. She just delays the inevitable. But anyway, or rather, in way of any, whatever happened to Linus, Crosscode was not involved.
No, we
In
had
any
nothing
of
to
the
do
drama.
with that.
Yeah. So, Susan,
Yes.
who is your favorite? It's obviously Patrick.
Wait, what?
Patrick.
No, I don't know. It's obvious. Patrick from SpongeBob is obviously your favorite. Or maybe it's Rainbow Dash.
I have actually never watched a single SpongeBob episode in my
Oh,
entire life.
me too, actually. I've also never been into
Me
SpongeBob.
three.
Such
Let's go.
uncultured people. But Susan, Baileys, Mr. Person, you totally watched My Little Pony Friendship is Magic, right?
Mr. Person.
Yes, at some point I actually did because I
Yes.
wanted to know what this entire fuss was about, and I just noticed that it's an okay show. Period.
Mhm. I mean, I actually really liked it for like 3 seasons or so.
It had
For the
some
most
really good
part.
moments, I thought.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's about it. Who was your
Pretty
favorite
much.
pony?
Dude, names.
Just describe the archetype.
It's probably the yellow one.
Apple
That
Dash?
was. I think that's
No.
Fluttershy.
Yes.
I do like
Fluttershy,
Fluttershy.
Fluttershy.
She
Fluttershy
had
one.
she
Fluttershy
had
was
aggression
great.
problems. Yeah, she had aggression problems.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're going to love me. Great scene. But actually, who's your favorite of the new generation of Full Life English? Advent.
Hannah, our viewers are trusted you drop me. You just
Oh no!
talking about My Little Pony instead.
Oh no!
If you
You just
run-
started.
if you write Hololive backwards, it says like
Or maybe that's
Evil
because we all
Olo.
admitted of not having watched SpongeBob. So that's probably why.
Evil Olo. Oh no! It really is. Felix,
I,
no.
checkmate.
If you write
So-
Hololive backwards, it says Evil Olo.
That can't be coincidence.
That can't be coincidence. But you do. What is an Olo? What is an Olo? Let me just.
That's
You
some.
don't want to find out. That's a big secret.
An Olo is adventures cruising. It's some boat adventure thing. It's some yacht. Oh no.
So whatever it is that's evil, it's on a yacht probably.
Olo life. But you do know like this one, the Onion parody, right? It's just amazing. Where is it? Satire. Right. I still love this, and I think it's even funny if you don't like Hololive because it's the Onion parody, and it's like it's so many levels of meta. It's like impossible to
Wait.
not like.
When you say the onion, do you mean the onion or
Oh no.
the onion as in the magazine or?
The magazine, yeah.
Because when you say onion, I kind of think of cutting the big onion.
The big onion,
That's a big onion.
le sacre bleu.
No, when you write like.
Oh,
no.
Oignon. Oignon.
What the heck?
What's-
What the heck is Yuno doing there? She's taking the head the wrong direction. Oh
Wait,
no! Look at this.
Wait, what?
No! I have a theory why this happens.
Oh no! You know what?
That doesn't look
Universe-
healthy.
Yeah. Shit, I
She's
don't
been
know.
too fast.
He's doing some high skill idle dances.
Okay, let's see.
Like
That's
idle fan
the reason,
dances.
but I think that is actually odd that this happens because it should behave just like the animation preview. Okay, let's see.
Maybe because of the slow motion again.
Oh no, that would suck. That would be weird though.
I mean, we would need to
No,
check
it works
in.
now. Okay. I think the reason was actually because I did some. We have a way to program that the head of a character rotates to a certain target. And
It takes the shortest route.
I had this enabled, and it might interfere in weird ways when the character rotates the head or like the body in very fast ways. So, and that's how this might happen. So, I guess that's probably why. Anyway, it's fixed. So,
Felix, something that this makes me think of, like with Juno doing those motions with a light. You should totally do totally do this animation with Juno in Discord.
okay, yeah.
Do like an idle fan dance.
Yeah.
Hey,
That would be
will-
like the most sweep thing.
it
okay.
totally, but it
Analyzing.
will totally become viral, and then everyone will want to get Terra.
Who is she
Certainly.
cheering on?
Hmm?
Who is
Ah.
Juno cheering on?
Just his
Good
sister.
question. Oh yeah, but Juno doesn't have. Maybe Juno has a sister. Who knows?
Okay, I'm not gonna say that.
Okay, so anyway, so now we have one part done. The next part is that I actually want to make like the whole cloth thing get bigger, and then bigger again after the spin, and then when she puts both hands into it. So that's the first one that gets bigger, and then this again. Okay, let's just make a bigger claw ball.
Both
Don't-
hands, energy
have-
ball.
Just increase the size. Here we go. Increase the radius. Not that much. A bit less. Increase this radius.
And then she yells Hadouken.
Yeah,
Hello,
she had opens the whole thing. Actually, this looks kind of neat.
And it looks like wild, untamed energy.
Yep, it's actually pretty close to
Nice.
what it is.
Like it's like almost
Okay,
bursting out of control. It looks like it's
yeah.
nice.
Okay, and now
Light
a
or
nice touch I think would be to, at the beginning when this whole thing happens, to have particle sphere using these curl particles, at least graphics wise. Then with a whole circle, random, a lot of them, just once, with a very big radius, and yeah, just a lot faster. Or rather, with a very ease out strong. Okay, still faster. That's better. Okay, and now the big trick I realized at some point, this is what makes this look amazing. You make them rotate, but not all the same direction. That's how it looks like when you make an all rotate them. Actually, this looks already pretty cool, but the best thing to do is make them rotate randomly.
Oh,
Then you have a very nice noisy movement, and that's the big trick. So what I realized now, I've played with a couple of effects, what really makes a big difference is to give the particles different durations. If you all make them the same, it looks a lot more consistent, and they all fade out at the same time. But if you give them different random durations, then you have this where some of them fade out early and some of them fade out later. It looks a lot more dynamic and natural somehow, and
Nice.
more interesting. So that's really a big trick I realized with effects. Just varying particle durations can work really well for these kind of things. So, but actually what I would like to do is take the move duration and make this... Okay, now this doesn't look that good, but if I say rotate with time... Okay, that is interesting, but the rotation is much too strong now. Let's make it a bit slower. Whoa, okay. Interesting, maybe. What about Jumpy though? Okay. Nah, I'm not sure about this. You're strong. I think I'll just make the whole thing a bit quicker overall. So, okay, now the biggest trick to make any effect a lot more better is to just add a light source to it. That's actually something I forgot here. Just any light source that matches the color. So it needs to be really large, permanent, like a quick fading. Color wise, now this is probably very red, so that doesn't look good. So let's make it green yellowish, maybe more bluish, not yellow, green blue, sorry. So
Yeah,
that makes sense, yeah. And that's also something I noticed, like just having this glow to effects just really makes them instantly more interesting to look at. So has a very big effect. Tweak the size a little bit, make them also pop out a whole lot more. There's also a way to reduce shadows in general. sometimes help to make the effect more stick out. Okay, so let's see how this looks. Okay, this is the nest weave start, nest weave bigger. Now I just need to script the right timing. So this is the this is actually the right time when it should switch over. So I will just set another hook here. That is the second hook now. And I will just use the same information as this one. Maybe I can actually use the same hook. I think that should work. I actually never tried that, but I think it should. So, though actually it might not work. Yeah, let's just make another hook. It's safer. But I can say that the first hook just stops here. So, and essentially I would just switch out the effect. So I stop the previous effect and start the new one. So here I just wait. Oh, okay, never mind. There is already... The problem is I already use hook 2 here to detect the start of the movement. But that's okay. That means I can afterwards, I can just use hook 1, I think. Because... It's a bit tricky to explain why this is. It's because when I start the animation, I immediately set hook 1 to be at the same position as the last animation. But at the beginning, I'll wait for hook 2 to start. So it will wait until it hits this frame. Then I start the forward motion, which goes somewhere until here, I think. And then I just need to wait for the first hook again, which is set here again. And then I should just swap out the effect. So that's the idea. Okay, after the movement, just wait for hook 1. And then make the bigger effect at hook 1. But before that, I need to clear all the effects. There should only be this one, so let's see. And bing! Yes! Perfect! That's how I wanted it.
Oh.
Okay. So now there's a little problem here. Where when Uno adjusts for the final motion to actually put both hands into the whole thing, there's a bit of the issue that the ball moves with her moving backwards. So I would like to just have the ball be exactly at the same spot there. So not moving it back here. So I don't like that. And I think I can fake this by just swapping out the hook to be right at the same position. It's a bit tricky to do that, but I think I can do that. So honestly, I think that's better. I have a better idea. Look, I just make it here that right now this hook is connected to the arm, but I want to have it instead as a static position. So all I'm just gonna do is say, so first I'm gonna copy the whole thing. So I have like the other hook as the reference point. This is where it should be. Now the first hook, it's not connected to any bone. It's just connected to the root. Ah, Jesus. Okay. We really have to do something. For whatever reason, those drop-down boxes get really slow, and I don't think it's related to our code. Because everything else is really fast. Anything is working perfectly fine. All except for those drop-down boxes. They're really slowing down everything. So maybe just we just implement our own drop-down boxes.
Is it too long, maybe, or is it all drop-down boxes?
All drop, no matter how much content. Even if it's just like 2 entries, they load forever. It's really ridiculous.
Oh,
But I
damn,
can
added
actually
it.
fix this.
Oh.
Let me just restart the editor. This fixes it. I just
I
need
mean, I
to-
never really noticed it.
Yeah, if you
By the way-
start working with the editors for a longer time and do scripting, then you'd start to notice. It's actually better in the newer Node WebKit version. That's why I updated recently. But
I mean, I did
It's not
definitely
good.
notice like editor slowdown before I updated. I mean, some months ago.
yeah, you had a very old version. That one was slower
Yeah.
in many ways. Yeah. What's this music?
Yeah, I added. I actually wanted to add an instrumental track of that, but I added the vocal track by accident. Whatever.
Fine. It's fine. I like it.
That's okay.
It's a Hololive track. One
No,
of
I hate
those.
it. Okay.
Yeah, I know. I knew it. I knew it.
I'm joking. It's okay. 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 Yeah, I
Game
like this
design.
effect. Bing. Bing. Okay, now let's see. Animation. Trickery. Where was it? Here we are. Okay, there should be now 2 hooks here. Okay, so I have now the second hook here, and I'm just gonna... No, that's one. That's correct. Here, this one. I just need to move it so it's at the same position. It's a bit try and error, but
That's just game design.
yep. Ah, here we go. That's pretty close. Oh no, it's not. No! Damn you, 3D! Damn you! Yeah.
It works on my machine.
Okay. Now we got it. Now we got it.
It looks good if you have only this one perspective.
Yeah. I mean, we could have gotten away with that because you only see this animation from one perspective, but you know.
Could have gotten away with that if it wasn't for those pesky third dimensions. Okay.
Pesky third dimensions.
Yeah. Get it.
There's a first time chat question. Playing Crosscode for the first time, that's why I'm here. Lol, the game rocks. New main character needs the ninja run. Oh yeah, there's actually a ninja run somewhere. Let me see if I can find it.
I don't know.
Yeah, here it is. It's not very well polished though. Looks a bit wonky. But
Actually, it's wonky.
yeah,
Her arms just. Her arms
yeah,
just
the arms are very broken with the one.
It's actually not ninja run. It's just arms broken run.
arms broken.
That's right.
Run. Okay.
looks like one of these inflatable tubes where the arms go wee.
Yeah. Okay, let's see. Anyway, so now the spot is fixed at one point. That means in the following animation it should not move. Let's see.
This is the song that I wanted because this is the instrumental one. I'm not gonna- Okay, I'm gonna search for something else.
Is the next RFG game gonna be an action RPG, or do you want to branch into other genres in the future? I mean, Project
it will
Terra
be-
is an action RPG and will keep us busy. Beyond that, I don't know exactly.
Felix, tell
yes,
them
I know.
about the fusion of a 4X game and an interactive visual
Here we
novel.
go. Yes, I know, obviously.
Interactive visual novel life simulator that we
Yeah.
are planning.
Yes, works.
Okay,
I mean,
works.
I mean, if you think about it, Civilization is a 4X game that also has visual novel aspects. If you consider the diplomacy visual novel, in a way, kind of.
Everything is a visual novel. Period.
In a way, yeah. I mean, it's
No,
visual and yet you can
every-
read.
Everything is a visual novel.
Okay, so I just give this one a smaller ranged particle explosion too, because right now it just appears without any bang. Just make it a bit more subtle. Okay, that works, I think.
Does this work?
Maybe a bit shorter.
Here? It apparently work.
Okay. piece again. Okay, so now it's got bigger, and we make it even bigger now. That's the biggest version.
Damn.
Bigger and biggest. Which is essentially just the same thing, just bigger. And then we would just think of more stuff afterwards.
Has anyone seen that image about some guy like taking an egg and then doing something with it, and then it's bigger than before?
Wait, what?
I just had to think about that.
Oh my gosh, I love this one. That was so fucking stupid.
Because you just were talking, and then it gets bigger and bigger, and then
bigger than before.
It's
bigger than before. I remember
Okay.
this one. It's terrible.
Nobody knows why, but it was
Yeah.
bigger than before. Yes.
Bigger. Oh my god, yeah. For some reason I found this so ridiculous and I didn't know why. It was just so
No,
dumb.
it was just so absurd. Oh,
Yeah.
it was maple syrup.
Yeah, they just made it in maple syrup, and there was no point in this, right? Like you just thought that's like it was like a home craft video. It was also like 2 minutes
Why?
craft, but you actually have it like in whatever they put it in for like hours, but it's a 2 minutes craft, you know.
Yes.
And it's bigger than before. That's the big getaway there. Okay, so make it more spiky.
I see.
So
Fucking video. Let's just put egg into vinegar. Wait 1 day. Bigger than before.
yes, big payoff. The payoff is huge.
Okay, but why?
Put egg
Why
into
not?
vinegar.
It's bigger than before.
Egg vinegar experiment. Is it that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just posted it in. It just makes no sense.
That's not sick.
Wait, what? What?
Somebody actually made this one with the Final Fantasy music. And that one is like the best thing actually. Because it's yeah. That's the one, oh man, it's perfect. This one here.
Oh, fuck. And then especially with the tweet text, just please watch this extremely bizarre Facebook craft video. Is it
Bigger than before.
Yeah, this somehow makes it actually super funny because I don't know, and it has this stupid, typical Facebook craft life hack background music. It's like, yeah, man, I'm so, God. What? And then even maple syrup. There's one day.
This is stupid payoff with how epic the music gets. It's like it's
Yeah.
so stupid.
Die.
Jesus.
I like when it just says die.
Yeah, it just dying. And I just love the fact that it just says 5 minutes crafts down there, and
Yeah.
like right on top of it, wait 1 day.
Wait one day. What the fuck is this?
This is the best, man. Oh jeez, my
And,
god.
I don't know. What do they mean with crafts? I mean, what is this?
I
What is
mean,
this good?
they're crafting a bigger egg, Hannah.
Yes.
It's bigger than before, Hannah.
This is the solution to world hunger. Just make eggs bigger.
This bigger egg.
The big solution to world hunger. Amazing. Yes.
Oh man. Die. Why is this so fucking funny? I don't.
Yeah, I
Yes.
also wondered, like, I didn't understand why this is so funny, but it's just ridiculous.
Holy shit.
Sorry for detour.
Ah,
This is so fucking.
Oh, this looks great, actually.
well, this
What are you
looks
doing?
very cylindrical. Ah, it's because it's the Z-axis. If I use the screen axis, then it's around. Yeah, that's better. Nice. Okay, maybe a bit closer, like it didn't want it to be.
Yeah, lend you know your energy.
Damn. No, that's like really the biggest. It's bigger than before, definitely. Okay, let's also for effect make a screen shake when it shows up. Actually, that could be a permanent screen shake too. For this. Doesn't have to be strong. Actually, can I just make a very slow? Yeah, we have this. Ah, yeah. Okay, I did change the easing curve for screen shakes at some point by using ease out instead of ease in, ease out. But this doesn't look good when it's slow. I might have to tweak that so the slow shaking actually has ease in, ease out. This doesn't
It
look
looks
good
actually
now.
like someone is holding a camera while running. It's basically
I mean, we use
Just
this
going.
effect in crosscode a lot. Whenever something really dramatic happening, so you have like a very slow screen shake, which really looks more
Yes.
like somebody isn't having a steady camera, and it's a cool effect in my opinion. But you do need ease in, ease out. Like right now, it's using ease out. It's very rapid. It has to be more smooth, I think. So I can just quickly hack this in there. Screen shake. Screen state.
every time somebody is streaming in any Discord, and I'm curious what they're streaming. I hover like their stream, and then it generates a preview, right? And basically, that preview is always the worst possible preview at this moment of whatever they're watching. It's like you're watching, I don't know, a movie, and then your mom walks in during the sex scene. It's basically the Discord version of this. It's every time.
Okay, let's see. Okay, where do I initialize the screen shakes? Here it is. And this is okay, I'm just gonna hack this in now.
What the heck?
0. Okay, just with slow or slow. Anything with slow is easy now. Easy. Okay.
Export enum text size.
Okay. Okay, and then I just say right here. Actually, I'll just make the key spline here. Easing, key spline. And easing is slow easing. It's key splines. Ease in. That's fast. And then there's key splines. Ease in, out. Okay, and then I'm just gonna use easing here. So that should be it. Let's see if that works.
Drum roll.
So. Okay, I wanted to check this. Oh yeah, this is better. Yeah. Okay. So this one. Okay, maybe not quite as strong.
Yippee!
Yippee! Got a Coke. I can play Fortnite. Okay. So now let's make
The reason why I
biggest
actually learned about this meme was because I saw.
VTubers.
No, actually not. I mean, indirectly, but not really. Thing is, VTubers have used that meme, but I didn't get it. I didn't get where it came from. And then at some point I saw a Limbus Company variant parody of it, with a character that is based on a German novel. And then I was like, oh, I see. I
No.
see. It's a German-based character. And
Here's the question:
what?
What German novel are they based on?
Demian from Hermann Hesse. Because it's Limbus Company, and it's all literature. It's all it's all actual literature, not just like, you know. So you have like Hermann Hesse and Goethe and Kafka for the Germans, or rather Kafka was Swiss, right? Or Austrian? Was Kafka Austrian?
They were a cockroach.
Yes, and
Wait.
and so is the character that is based on that novel. It actually all makes sense. I mean, we have
Bigger
have seen
than
some-
before when using these. What is this?
these
We have
nuts.
to we have to wake up Yui because she's the expert in Limbus Company.
I mean, I can also tell you. I was just wondering if you have already seen certain.
No, but
So-
I don't trust your word.
Well, I can tell you, and that is the truth, and only the truth, that all the characters are based on literature from various countries, and for some reason, German. Well, I'm just gonna look this up now. Okay, Kafka was Austrian, so but I still kind of count that to
It's
German.
honorary German.
very German. Like, I mean, if we have certain other Austrians as always seen as Germans, we can also count Kafka. Come on. But yeah, you have definitely two Germans then, which is Hermann Hesse and Johann Wolfgang von Goethe. Because you have Faust, who is based on the novel Faust, which I assume
Okay.
has also a fist in it.
So this works, but
Yes?
Juno's kind of merged into the effect. So maybe I just move the target a bit further up, so Juno doesn't get consumed by the energy.
Consume. Oh, I see.
Yeah, I see
Okay,
that.
let's just make it further back. I can even make it a bit lower, so... Well, actually, I don't have to. It's okay if it's a bit
Increase.
further back.
Just increase Juno's Z index by 1,000, so she will appear over everything.
We cannot actually dynamically change
Yeah.
the indices. I don't know, it's like one of these things where I actually try to not do that.
No,
But
you
yeah,
don't
I
have to
think-
explain it. It was a joke.
Yeah. I don't understand jokes. Should know this by
CSS
now.
jokes.
Oh wow, oh shit, oh
Oh, no?
oh no.
What happened?
Honestly, let me just I just hate everybody who makes a CSS library and then they just use stupid Z indices in this library. Like, why do people keep doing this? Like, when you design a
I know.
library,
Why? Yes. Why would you do that in a cascade where you have full control over the cascade?
yeah, I don't know. Like, we do actually use one library for our text editors, and it did that. It does do some Z index
Oh no.
tweaks, and that's why these stupid editors just don't follow our pop-up order. Like, they just over everything. And
Oh, no.
so I actually hacked it in a way to just remove this, and it still somehow worked. So I was wondering why the fuck they just added this in the first place. It's just probably some backward compatibility with some stupid browsers. I don't know what. Or maybe they just can't code.
Netscape 3.1.
Yeah. Okay, this looks pretty neat. So the big thing that's now missing is better camera motion. So the camera needs to always follow the motion in a way and react to Uno's motions. So let's do this. Okay, because
By the way, weren't you a huge fan of One Step from Eden?
What? Who?
You?
What? Another Eden.
Oh no, okay. I thought you were also a big fan of One Step from Eden.
It's I never actually played it, so I can't
Oh, okay.
actually say that I'm a fan.
Okay, but
Generally.
then maybe I mixed it up with
What
you liking some other good indie game with pixel art.
that another Eden game, like
Yeah, that too. Which was like a gacha game, which was not quite as good as Limbus Company.
yes, just another Eden game.
Was it? like that other Eden game where you play as Laxen, the fish.
Wait, what?
This one Super Nintendo RPG platformer, Evo: Search for Eden, also known as Laxen the game.
I'm having flashbacks.
Yeah,
right
the one
now.
where you
Oh.
where you start as a small fish, and then you evolve into bigger fish, and then you
than
crawl
before.
out of the ocean, and then you evolve into land animals. You know. This is also another Eden game, but it's actually a very early Eden game. I don't know how it's
Okay.
how it fits into the One Step from Eden and another
so
Eden
let's see what this looks
canon.
like.
Oh,
Yes.
Thanatos is coming to Cologne to Gamescom. Better try to visit us on Thursday, because Friday is like not a good day. It's like a day where we are basically almost gone already. I mean, I think Felix wanted to still run around at Gamescom, but
Yeah, I will stay at least until early afternoon. I think some people who will come with me by car, they actually have a meeting at 15:30, so I'll probably stay
see.
at least until then. Thursday is better though, so you will probably meet more team members on Thursday.
I mean, is our booth even open on Friday? I assume it is,
yeah,
but
it
it's
will
not
actually be open the whole Gamescom. It's just
Mhm.
that I already told them I don't plan to be there on the weekend, because Gamescom weekends are just the worst. Really.
Yeah, and you don't
would've-
really want to be 5 days on Gamescom.
No, I would have had to, but next time maybe.
I mean, usually if you're just a visitor, it's easily enough if you stay for 2 days, for 2 full days, and then you have seen everything most of the time.
Yeah, but why would I go to anything that's not the Radic Fish Brew?
Yeah, I mean, in general,
Wink.
I wasn't talking about your visits, but rather if you want to see a lot of stuff, then if you have 2 days, then you definitely are able to see everything that will be interesting to you. Otherwise, even 1 day should usually be enough for most people.
Yeah, but for now,
Yeah.
for us now, it should also be about, you know, being at the booth. It's actually,
Yeah, of course. For us,
It's
it's
actually
different.
work now. So
But I mean, this time we are actually everybody who comes to Gamescom is there for the same time, right? So that's different.
I mean, everybody will be there at least until Friday, but I mean, Friday will be the last day we can be in Cologne because we will only stay until Friday.
Yeah.
I mean, last time we usually did it that way, that we just went home on Friday, so we didn't even bother going to Gamescom. But this time,
Yeah.
I think at least for half the day I want to go there because.
And also, I still remember our first Gamescom where I think we basically split the responsibility in 2 teams, right? But you were there the entire time. I remember. Wasn't it like that, Felix?
Yeah, but
Oh,
I
yeah.
actually really want to make it today that we split up more evenly, so I also have some time going around.
Yeah, definitely.
Because I don't want to be at the booth all the time. And like last time we had a booth in in Gamescom, that was 2015 by the way, so a long time ago. We also had actually 2 booths there, right? So
Yeah,
one in
with
the business
Executive
area and one in the entertainment area, and that was really too much. Too much stuff. We always had to be somewhere, really. Okay, we're getting somewhere with the effects and the camera motion.
I may or may not be equipped with a steelbook for you to sign. Well, that's amazing.
Steelbook signing is definitely something we can do.
Yep.
You
You just
better
have to
save
be,
to bring a pen. That's important though.
I mean, yeah. Also, it might be difficult to have like all of us there. I mean, we should definitely make sure to have some points in time where everyone of us is
No.
at the booth.
No,
So we can have
It's
like a
like-
fan meeting.
no, it's like Steam trading cards. You only get so many, and then you
Yeah,
have to-
damn
Yeah.
it.
it's like gacha.
Ah,
Okay, so this actually doesn't look so great.
The camera pan towards the time she summons that orb.
Yeah, that one.
Looks kind of.
I'm trying to figure out what's going on there. I think that's better. I think was not a good idea to make it delayed in this way, so I just start the movement earlier.
Oh, I see. You
It's-
already did that. Okay. Stream delay.
Yeah.
Wow.
But at least the end I think looks pretty good already.
Mhm.
Okay, I think this can be now a bit faster. Okay, in general, like after the first one, the wait time can be slower. And this one can be a bit faster still. By the way, this is really, camera movements take a lot of time for scene scripting.
Mhm.
They're a big thing, what makes the thing flow interesting. Yeah, this looks pretty good already, I think. Okay, and then... Okay.
I like how the camera just pans down for a split second before zooming
Yeah.
in at the final end. That's nice.
Yeah, that's these kind of like back and forth motions. They can look really nice if you time them correctly. I think the effect can be a bit stronger, a bit more sideways though. Let's see.
Every game dev advice video says like don't spend too much time on polishing. Meanwhile, Red Dead Fish Games is like,
Yeah, I'm sorry, we're not those
no.
developers.
It's just like the exception proves the rule.
Yeah.
I mean, it always depends what you polish and stuff, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, what I'm doing here right now isn't really all that necessary and probably not a good idea.
That's true, but it's something you can do well on stream, maybe. Like,
yeah.
What?
Okay. There's some Z glitching here. I hate it. Wait, is that probably just a... Oh, look, it's just a stupid prop there. That shouldn't be there. I'll delete it. Okay. Z glitching is gone. Okay, detecting. And... So I think it needs more camera shakes. That's my conclusion. Every time it gets bigger, small camera shake.
Since I wanted to ask you with annoying game dev questions.
Yeah.
Actually not annoying, but I was like wondering, is there some like breakthrough or eureka moment you had recently while doing something, or anyone? During the
Eureka
end of
moment.
Like what, something just worked, or you had like a great milestone or breakthrough, or
I mean,
something.
Nothing huge. I mean, for me, the biggest milestone, but that was already a long time ago. I think 2 years ago, when I realized that the whole animation system will probably work out. So we managed to create cool looking animations and people liked it. So that was a huge, I was really happy about that, because at times I really thought, okay, this is not gonna work. This is like, was a huge waste of time. This is just because I spent a lot of time working on that, and sometimes I was really doubting if it will work at all, if it's gonna be looking good enough and all that. So I'm very happy about that. Recently, I think we are just working a whole lot on just getting things ready, and there was no big surprise. I mean, one thing where I felt like, okay, this is going to be good, was when I finally had dungeons polished enough, and finally managed to implement this party member cooperation thing that you saw in one of those tweets, right? Seeing that work felt like, oh, okay, this is actually kind of cool, and this works well enough, so this probably will be good. So it wasn't a huge eureka moment, but I was like also happy that this seems like it can be fun, because it's actually kind of tricky to make dungeons with party members, mostly because navigation is a bitch in those situations. It's like there's so many potential people for your party members to get stuck. So we really had to find a certain way how your party member cooperates to avoid these issues. And the big thing that I think will probably work out pretty well is just put them on a spot. They make puzzles appear so you can solve them. They will just be on that spot as you solve the puzzle. And once everything is done and the way is cleared up, then they can leave that spot. So that was the big idea, and I think that will work out. So I think we can design most puzzles that way, and then we can have party members in dungeons. So that's a cool thing.
Yeah, that's not far from what every other game that implements puzzles with like a third person standing around in the vicinity is doing. Basically, they leave and then stand around until you're done.
Yeah. That is actually something we can also do, honestly. I actually used this in the beginning for push-pullables. So it's like, okay, you push-pull those things around to find a way to a ledge that you can jump on, and they will just stand around and look at you. That's an option we can use too, actually. But the problem was, once you reach that new ledge, your party member would now be leaving their spot and move towards you. The problem is those push-pullables are still standing there. and you have to make sure that the nav map can take into account any possible position of those boxes and be adapted in a way that still works. And it's possible to do this. You just have to map your map. You use a certain checker point pattern, then this works. But that was still annoying to me, and I thought, God damn it, now whenever we use push pullables, we have to be careful about this. And that's when I had this idea, hey, let's just say they just appear when your party member is there. And once a party member is gone, they just disappear. And this solves a lot of other issues too, like when something goes wrong, you can't just reset your party member, like, and they're just back to the original position. So that's something you can do. So I think that was like, at least to me, that was a little eureka moment where I thought, okay, that's actually a really cool compromise to make this work. Yeah, and in general, it's just really... I mean, recently being able to do story and finally getting around making scenes feels very good, so it kind of feels like we make some more meaningful progress now. So that also is a good thing. The only thing that's kind of like we still need to really get wrapped up is to kind of like have this more open game section. I mean, right now you mostly just see this kind of dark world-esque environment where everything is really weird and gray, and there will be like these nature parts where nature returns, right? And they will be a lot more open, a lot more like how CrossCode used to be, where you can just move around freely, less linear. There will be jumping puzzles, obviously. Enemies that will not attack you immediately too, so that will also be more like CrossCode. And we already have something there. I mean, Hannah just started scripting some of those quests that you will have there, but in this, I need to see this in a more or less fully polished way and see, okay, this is fun, this works well, and then I think I will feel more confident about the whole project again, because then we have essentially all the big gameplay modes done, which are those more narrow passages, the more open passages, and then the dungeons. Those are like the 3 gameplay modes of the game. And then we just have to repeat this and get better each time. So, okay.
All right. That was a very detailed answer.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I tend to answer long.
That's good. I think it's interesting. So like usually I know that when you are in like stuck in development and you feel like you're making not too much progress because you are, you know, actually doing all the work, and there's so much to consider, and you easily forget like the breakthrough moments or the eureka moments between all of these. This doesn't work, that doesn't work.
Yeah, that's true. Like sometimes it helps to just look back and see what you actually managed to achieve. That is sometimes important.
With the animation system that you mentioned, for example, I think I noticed this the most, and others. I saw at least 2 people in the...
Oh, actually, this reminds me, I did have a small eureka moment. Which is funny. I recently implemented a feature where for a long time I thought, no, we don't need this. I actually have myself recorded on video where I had a discussion with one of our team members, Freeze, who said, hey, how about we should do that? And I was like, yeah, I don't think we need that. And now, like a few years later, I actually implemented that, and it makes everything easier.
Search anywhere.
That was custom meshes. Okay, like the Wellspring tree is, I think, an example. Because, you know, doing really weird, complex sprites like this, it's sometimes hard. Like, up to this point, we had, like, a very limited selection of shapes that we can use. And I was trying to make a boat with those shapes. Let me find this. South Fishing. I think that's it. That stupid boat. It was impossible to make this boat work with the shapes we had. It was such a pain. And we had several situations where we tried to make something work with the shapes we had. The problem is adding new shapes here is always kind of a big undertaking. So we don't have any tools for that. It's essentially all hand-coded how those shapes are made. So I only added them when I thought it was really necessary. So, and when I made this boat, I realized, man, this is gonna be a problem quite often. So I just thought about it and I realized, okay, actually making a tool where you can just individually move around those points shouldn't be all that difficult. And it took me less than 2 days to implement these features. Less than 2 days to do this. And this feature already made such a big difference. First, this boat was finally manageable. Then Thomas made this wellspring, working on that. I think Tina also used this feature already for some of the new houses we're working on. Everybody likes this feature. Everybody who works with it thought, okay, yeah, this is like a big help. And nice. One thing I recently made where I thought long and hard about if this is doable. We have those weird Nyx veins. Those here, those roots that you see on the ground. Back then, they used to be actually flat, especially those vertical ones. They were just like a graphic projected on the ground. And it always bugged me because sometimes you actually could really see that they were just flat on the ground, even though there should be some height. But it's actually kind of tricky to make that work because it's not just one graphic, it's something like individual parts that you need to combine. And using those pre-made shapes, it's really tricky to make it work in a way that you can just combine those graphics to make a continuous shape. Usually that means you need to use overlapping graphics. And that's always annoying to me because then I have to make bigger graphics, I need to waste more memory space, and I don't like to do that. So I thought, okay, let's just keep it flat. But now with the custom meshes, it's actually no problem to do that. You can do weird shapes like this. You know, they actually, when you look at it from the right angle, they're perfectly rectangular, but you just move the things in depth, like forward and X and Y, and you can perfectly puzzle those things together. It works, it just works. It's easy to do and it works. Like, this was just the thing that was missing all the time. That was like the best thing, to just do that. Just implement this stupid feature. Even those curves, those were actually the most tricky thing. Before that, I did some weird thing where I combined 2 separate mesh entries with the same graphic. Now it's just the right way, right? Just the mesh, you know, roughly matching the shape of the vein.
Nice.
Yeah, so that was a eureka moment, at least for me on the technical side, where I thought, okay, that's the thing that was missing. So I think that will help us with creating props in the future. Probably a lot. Kovapsh, now, can this boat move? Technically, we could make it move, yes.
Yeah,
but we don't do this right now. Actually, right now it's just standing perfectly still in water. I'm actually thinking of implementing a prop that's actually moving up and down. Shouldn't be that hard. But yeah.
Oh god, you said the words. You said the words. Shouldn't be that hard.
No.
Yeah, but I think it's actually not that hard. It's just we already have that. It's just not baked into the map. It's a dynamic entity, so it's a bit more expensive. But we don't have too many boats on our map, so it should be fine. So yeah, we'll try it. So the only risk is that it might become too slow, but I don't think. Honestly, just thinking about how many particles we're spawning and the game just doesn't seem to get slow. It's actually, I'm sometimes a bit impressed how well the whole thing works. I mean, you have to imagine every time each particle is just, it's a billboard that's generated every frame on the CPU, not the graphics card, and sent to the graphics card. And it stops being fast about around 7,000 of them. Then you kind of start noticing that it gets slow. And that's a huge amount of particles. I think crosscode started getting slow already around 1,000 particles or even less. So it's a lot more efficient this time, I think.
The Ascension Temple intro. Storming the Ascension Temple.
Oh, that one. Yeah,
Mhm.
that probably was slow because of other reasons. A lot of...
Yes. True.
But actually, was it slow? I think I really tried to optimize that one to run fast.
On the new NWJS caused some issues, I think.
Oh shit.
The old version didn't. For some
Okay,
reason.
that's a weird NWJS stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably should just update the version, but I'm afraid to do that every time because then we get a lot of
It breaks
complaints.
a billion of other things. Yep.
Yeah. And I hate this.
Mm.
No worries. I just wanted to find a comparison. But yeah, when you talked about the flexibility of the animation system that you worked on in the Project Terra channel in the Crosscode Discord, where you posted the cutscene of meeting the cabbage capybara for the first time.
Yeah.
And then had all these animations with her crouching, her holding, petting.
Yeah.
And I think that was the first instance where people were confronted with the detailed animation for a regular cutscene.
Yeah.
And I think that was very impressive too.
Yeah, I mean, obviously not every scene will look exactly like that, but I thought for the first scene it's usually a good idea to go a bit overboard so people get the first good impression at the beginning.
But it was like the first big exposure to
but honestly it really was really fast. I mean, to be perfectly honest, I just made the rough animations and our animator Javed actually went over this and gave them some detail. Not a whole lot, but it made actually a big difference. So actually a lot of things look better this way. For instance, I just made essentially this pose and the end pose, and he just made a few in-between keyframes that gave them and tweaked the easing to make them like look a bit more juicy, right? And
damn, so like actual animation works.
Yeah, we have an actual 3D animator in the team now because of those systems. And he wrote us. He just saw our tweets and thought, hey, that's cool, I want to work with you. And I thought, okay, we can try that. And he's really, really good. So it's he's quite professional too. I mean, he worked on Battle Chasers. That was one of the games.
Oh, Battle Chasers, right?
Yeah.
Was it a 3D game actually?
I think it was a 3D game. Yes.
Chasers. It was like. Yes, Battle Chasers Night War, right?
Yeah.
No, I remember it.
He did animations for that game, yeah.
Yeah, right. It was kind of 3D. Yeah, right. It was like turn-based 2D, quote unquote, but it had like 3D models and stuff. Yep.
So yeah, he's a big reason why our animations look so good, because he also did like the sword animations, those things. He also did like the new hammer animations. I mean, there are some older videos and you could still see the animations as I did, and there is definitely a difference there in terms of quality. So that's why that really helps us to really gives the whole thing like a really nice edge. So like just having the system is not enough. Obviously you have to spend time on actually making good animations for this, and this still takes time, right?
What?
So, don't get me wrong. It's like it's not for free. You have to spend some time, but I still think it's a lot better than. I mean, it's just not realistic doing these amount of frames in just drawing pixel arts in, especially not in 16 directions. So you don't want to do this. Yeah, and for scene animations, at least doing like the first few animations, it really doesn't take long. And like the big thing is, it's not just about creating the sprites. Whenever I did extra poses in Crosscode, it actually was like a huge amount of work. First I had to create the graphics, just pixeling stuff. then I had to integrate them. We didn't have very good tools for integrating animations like this. So I essentially had to modify a JSON with some editors that simplify the process a little bit, but it was barely any preview. So any pose was a lot of work in crosscode. And like whenever you did this, it was like you really had to put in the work had to go the extra mile to actually have anything. And that's why reusing animations was like the big thing in crosscode too. And here it's just like doing stuff like the shout animation probably took me 5 minutes, 10. Some others took longer, like the whole sword ready pose that maybe took me 10-20 minutes because I was a bit tricky to get right. And sometimes I'm iterating over stuff and that it might end up taking a half an hour, but that's still nothing compared to how much work we had with this in crosscode. So that's why I'm saying expect there to be a lot more animations, because it's just realistic to do that now. You just have to be careful not to go overboard, but I think so far it's it seems like we make decently fast progress with the scenes, especially since in the worst case we can just go back to making cutscenes like in crosscode and just getting it done, and then we can go over it and adding more neat animations if there's enough time. So in the end we we have to stop polishing like crazy and just get the content done. So
now that you mention how much of a pain, in quotes, a pain it was to do new animations for crosscode, now specific scenes come into mind where I can imagine how inconvenient it must have been.
Yeah, I mean, that's why I'm always saying there's this one scene in crosscode that you probably know which scene I mean, which took me, I think, several weeks, 1 or 2 weeks, I think, just that one scene. Because it had so many custom animations and everything had to be really perfectly fine-tuned. So that's why there's not too many scenes like that in crosscode. And maybe there will be more of them in Terra. Terra will definitely have more exciting scenes than crosscode. I mean, that one big thing about Terra is that we really try to make the pacing of the story a bit more interesting, and that there's more interesting stuff happening in between. Because crosscode had like this big twist moment in, well, chapter 6 was it? I forgot which chapter it was.
Something about it.
Yeah, but you know which chapter I mean, like the big story chapter. So that one, before that there was like, it was mostly like character interactions and it was interesting enough, but there wasn't too much striking stuff happening, right? There was like big waits where nothing happened. And then after the story chapter, again, a lot of filler content, a lot of gameplay, a lot of character interactions, but not a lot of story. And that's what was another thing that was often criticized about crosscode. So this time we try to make the overall pacing more interesting, so there's more interesting stuff happening in each chapter. So that's the goal. Yeah. That was chapter 7, right? Yeah. Damn. Chapter 7? But crosscode also had only 10 chapters, right? Yeah, I think chapter 8 was just huge. I think that's why.
Is it like Baldur's Gate? Hey, it's the first act. Wait, but I already put 40 hours into this. What do you mean? I'm still in act 1.
Yeah, I'm surprised that it was chapter 7. That's a pretty late chapter, but I think the chapters in crosscode are a little bit messed up because there's like this one chapter 8 where you get 2 elements and you have 3 dungeons. And this is this chapter that takes on forever. And then there's another chapter, and then there's like chapter 10, which is the end.
True. It stretches in time for gameplay reasons, not story reasons.
Yeah, and that's like a big thing I kind of regret. That's this one chapter is so long, there's so little story happening. That's where a lot of people, I think, actually stop playing the game because they think it's too much dungeons, too much puzzles. So yeah, that's one big takeaway for me at least. And the thing about this is, obviously that wasn't like the big plan. In the end, we just had to manage like the ideas we had, and there was like a limit of how much we could achieve in without making development take forever. So like at some point we just had to do things the way we planned it, even though we already noticed this may be a problem. I tried to do stuff like adding a quest in between, so it's not only dungeons, but that wasn't enough. So in the end, there was just too many dungeons at once. Okay, we have 11 o'clock. It's pretty late. I think we made a decent amount of progress, even though I was talking a lot this time. I think Stefan was missing. I was like, no, it's not your fault. I mean, it's actually fun to talk about things like that for once in a while.
Yeah, it was actually some pretty good talk, I think, for those people who watch for the game dev and not for the anime talk.
Yeah. Very little
Was
anime
my-
talk this time.
Was my plan all along.
I know. Okay, maybe I can enable the dialogue again and see how this looks together.
You didn't watch any anime, I guess, and I also didn't watch any, so...
Characters will now have different beeping sounds. That will be a big thing. Okay, so this is not really done. I was actually having some ideas about how this whole thing connects with the nest in a way. But I guess we don't get this far today. It's late enough already. Probably work on this tomorrow a bit. But yeah, I'm actually quite happy with this.
Oh, is that a Secret of Mana remix?
I think it's Golden Sun.
Really? It
Oh
could
no,
be,
no, no,
could be.
just like in Golden Sun back in the days. No, this was not about the music.
Because the melody just now was very... Wait, I'm just gonna ask the Quacker. Wait, what is it even? Is it this? What is the command again? List?
This wasn't it.
List. Pokemon Mystery Dungeon. Come on.
Wow.
Okay.
That's like the one of the meme answers in our playlist.
When we always wonder what it is, it's usually Pokemon Mystery Dungeon.
Yeah, for some really cool track, and it's Pokemon Mystery Dungeon. Amazing.
Okay, I actually make this one a bit smaller, so there's a sufficient increase for the final size increase, size version. I'm still polishing effects, I can't stop. Okay. No, but I added the scene. Hey, quit you all.
Gotta start polishing those balls.
It's
fire.
literally polishing bolts here. Ah.
Oh no.
Okay. So this is all cool. Let me just make a keep state after, because then unit will not just stop suddenly. So this will look a bit better for this version. So if everything goes well, you'll be able to play this stuff here in Gamescom. So this will also be part of the demo.
But Felix, is it part of the...
Oh no, I didn't want to saw this. Okay.
I hope this is actually the right track that I'm using now. Okay.
Okay. Well,
I'm so jealous.
Huh?
Gamescom.
Ah. Well, you will be able to play something soon enough, I think. So. Okay. Any last questions that I missed? Let me check again. Kovash asks, will Project Terra support adding custom animations like rope climb? We do already have ladder climbing. Rope climbing is probably something we can still add. So I was
We
already
need-
thinking of adding more
it
custom
would-
animations there.
Yeah, it would likely need another animation, but otherwise.
Yeah.
Oh god damn it! I can't find a good Seinfeld. Let's just.
Let's skip the Seinfeld.
It's so tiring. Breadboard, please. Maybe I can find one. I have another idea. Seinfeld theme.
No, I can actually take over that if you want.
No? Maybe you can. But I also
Mm.
have found something. Okay.
As you see, I can totally do that.
I mean, try to.
Okay, I think I didn't miss anything too big. Didn't even tell people to use that Ready to Fish games to when they ask questions. I forgot this
Oh, right.
yesterday. Okay, yeah, I think that's it. So, let's end the stream. Thanks everybody for watching. Hope to see you again, and anybody who will be at Gamescom, so it would be great if you can drop by, say hello. And otherwise, we will see each other again in the next stream, whenever that will be.
Yes.
Okay, what is this now?
It's supposedly Seinfeld, but I have no idea what's this fucking.
Wait, what? Why don't you just let me...
Just. Okay. Just use a sound, whatever.
Okay, perfect. Okay, thanks everybody for watching. We're at the end of the stream. Here's the Seinfeld thing, so like in good old times. I already said goodbye, so there's nothing more to add. I never know what to say while this music
And
plays.
also, remember to play Holocure. It's very good.
Better play Ghost Trick. It's a better game, so play Ghost Trick. It's a better game. It's clearly the better game. No discussion.
I mean,
anyway,
both
so
have a good logo.
I know, like one game is clearly the good game. So, and yeah, until next time. Bye bye.
Bye bye. Bye
Bye bye.
Stop! Don't play! Don't make it yet. Wait! We need to open the door for us three, and then I need to say. Is it still running, Felix?
It's still running.
Really?
Yes.
Is it really running?
It's still running.
Grew up hitting they man.
Okay,
Okay,
I'm
no,
stopping
not-